Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 37 of the DJ and the Heel Show. As always, I am Brandon the Heel, joined again, and like always, by the Taylor Grift, the man with the failing podcast, DJ.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm ready to steer the ship to the right way and fuck the sickos this week.
And we are joined by the first time popping his cherry, the man known as the Cow with Glasses. What's up,
How y'all
Cow?
doing? How y'all doing? Thanks for the invite. Love to talk graps with y'all.
We're starting to get the who's of guests in this bitch. We've had Don Wayne. We've had Awful Wrestling. Fuck, the only thing I need to get is Tony Khan himself, and I pretty much got the who's who of everyone in my wrestling content creating career.
Can you imagine that? Every question we'll ask is like, well, I would love to have them back, but, we'll see. Dude, anyway, I digress. It's been a busy day today.
Busy day, busy week. Let's start with the breaking fucking news. Let's just get that out the way and pop our cherry with this immediately. Ilya Dragunov is fucking gone. He's out of here. WWE and him have come to terms on their contract. He wasn't released. He just it expired and he didn't resign. So before anyone saying WWE is just pushing another wrestler out to pasture, fucking blow me. He left on his own because he wasn't being used and or wasn't getting paid enough, which the latter is probably not true. You're getting paid to not be on TV and do nothing.
Well, that's exactly what he's going to be doing if he goes to AEW. So, but yeah.
Oh, hold on. Also, let me shit talk this because this kind of fucking got in my craw. Fucking JD, if you ever listen to this, since you're stealing my tweets, bitch, stop fucking stealing my tweets. Literally 20 minutes after.
It's literally what everyone said.
No, fuck that. Hell no. It was literally 20 minutes after I tweeted that at Ebu, and all he did was change one number. Instead of 27, 26. Fuck out of here.
I said 67.
You're going to tell me that's not a running joke when anyone goes to AEW from WWE that they're going to be Don Callis family member number whatever.
Okay, but to go fucking exactly one number minus my tweet, get the fuck out of here. That motherfucker is unoriginal as fuck.
I'm blocked.
Right. Anyway, Dragunov. His last appearance was the Andre Battle Royal. He chose not to stay with the company. His contract ran out. He's been shifted already over to the alumni section, which means his contract is done because that's when they move him over. So I've seen a lot of people saying, like, why not keep using him to put people over? Why are we going to invest in TV time on someone is leaving? It makes no sense.
Well, I think Brandon, what they want is they want him to put other people over so they can then spend the rest of the day complaining about him losing. I mean, that's the only way you can do that.
And then he's buried.
Yeah.
No, and we got into it in the group chat today because I'm not going to single out the person because they're a friend and I do respect this person for the most part. But like they're sitting there saying, "Oh well, the wrestlers deserve to be on TV. The wrestlers deserve to be paid." I'm like, I'm sick and tired of being in a wrestling space in a society where all these fucking IWC nerds thinks every wrestler deserves to get six figures. Every wrestler deserves to get TV time. Every wrestler deserves to get to say what the fuck they want to do in their creative and who the fuck they're working with. And every wrestler deserves to work whenever the fuck they feel like it. In what other profession, you two, is that any prerequisite for any job you're working for? That you get all those things?
None.
Maybe a OnlyFans model.
OnlyFans. If you're Mandy Sachs. That's it.
I want to see this. I want to see the spreadsheet. I want to see. He said he knows. He basically said, he knows what WWE wrestlers are making. So he must have hacked.
No. That's not what he said, Brandon. Let's be technical and let's be accurate. He said WWE specifically pays wrestlers less, specifically less than Tony. And the argument that we also ended up getting into was Tony overpays for guys, and that's why he's changed the wrestling market. In 2026, no one can fucking explain to me why Jon Moxley, Kazuchika Okada, and Mercedes Moné are all making seven-figure salaries when the return on an investment on them is nowhere near what they're fucking making. Nowhere near. You can tell, at least based on what Dave Meltzer is projecting as profitability, they're not making the return on investment. So
But
that
that
in
doesn't
terms
matter to
of
AEW.
no, but I'm saying though, in terms of valuating a wrestler's worth, at least WWE, to their respects, tries their best to pay guys based on what they're bringing in, based on what they're actually worth. Roman Reigns is worth a $10 million contract. CM Punk is worth a $10 million contract. Drew McIntyre is definitely worth $3 million a year. Same with Kevin Owens, because the return on their investment, there are statistics and things and metrics that they can prove that these guys are bringing in as much money as they're getting fucking paid. Not even as much, more money than they're fucking getting paid.
Well, that's that Moneyball way, right? By using some algorithm.
I
Yeah.
saw TC from WrestleVotes was talking about that Moneyball thing too earlier, and the self-made dipshits were all dogpiling on him. Saying that he had no idea what he was talking about. The usual stuff when someone actually does know what they're talking about, they're told they don't know what they're talking about because it's just not what they agree with. But yeah, actually, you mentioned that I didn't get the reference because I'd never seen Moneyball.
Well, it's basically they use an algorithm, and instead of like going by like fans' reactions, they'll look at how much merch they sell. Do they on social media? What is their social media score? What are they? What are their videos on YouTube? How many likes and how many clicks and all that stuff? And that's what they're basing on. What they're worth. And that came up, I think, when a Karrion Kross didn't resign a contract. He was asking to see those numbers, to see what he's worth to the company based on that, and they wouldn't show him it. And that was part of the reason why he didn't sign, because he felt he was more valuable than they were letting on. So the whole Moneyball thing is basically, instead of going by, reactions of fans, it's more, an algorithm and what they're doing, outside of the actual fans in an arena.
That
And
makes sense. So it's like basically if you get X amount of merchandise sales, it's worth a point or whatever, just whatever
right.
measurable thing. If you get this many views and engagements on social media, basically it sounds like it's a metric based performance scale and they're paying based on that, like
Yes,
like
that,
any other job it does on the
what
planet.
it is. That is 100% what it is. And that's how the pay scale works in almost any other sport or entertainment industry. And that's how that why do you think Dwayne Johnson was getting paid buku bucks, even though despite him flopping X amount of movies in a row? Because at least during the press tours and those movies and everything, social media impressions were up. Everyone's talking about The Rock. You know what I mean? The Rock is a polarizing figure. No matter how bad his fucking movies are, if they're bad, people are talking about how bad his movies are. Ergo, why people are still gonna sign him on, because he's still a star. To most people's eyes, it's still, any press is positive press. There's no such thing as negative press.
Oh yeah.
So like in terms of AEW and their pay scaling compared to WWE, just because of the argument that people are saying, Ilya's not getting paid his worth or he's not getting the equity of TV time. Last time I checked, he debuted, and within the first 2 weeks, he was the U.S. champion. Am I
On his
wrong?
return, it was his return match from injury when he was out for 13
He was
months.
the U.S. champion and was featured for at least a month and a half and getting fucking crickets, right?
I won't
The
say
matches were great, but I don't
Matches,
I don't
no,
know
but
if the
the issue is they wouldn't let him fucking talk. They wouldn't let him show any personality. All Triple H did was let him wrestle, and he was expecting the Julia principle of, wow, they're phenomenal in the ring. They should get over in this environment. And in reality, you need a lot more than just doing moves in WWE to get over. Because
right.
if that was the case, Ricochet would have never left, and he'd be fucking world champion feuding with Roman Reigns right now.
And I think that's where I struggle is how people don't understand that yet. Like, how is it we're constantly being outraged over the same things over and over again when we already know WWE is more story based? You can be the best wrestler in the ring, but that doesn't mean you're going to be pushed to the top of the card. That's just not how they are. They're story based first, in ring stuff second. AEW is the opposite. AEW is going to give you a nonsense match that's going to be awesome, but makes no logical sense. Like the Dynamite card yesterday, there's so many wrestlers on there, and that's I don't know as many outside of the US promotions, so that's on me. But there was just so many wrestlers, I don't know who they are. And for me to enjoy wrestling, I gotta understand who, what, where, and why. Because if it without that to me, it's dudes play fighting.
And that's the big thing that people don't understand when it comes to WWE. Like everyone's been saying, it's about the character, it's about the story.
That's why
All
I
of that.
watch. I mean, they can tell me I don't know ball because I don't like, 20 Canadian destroyers, which actually I don't even mind 20 Canadian destroyers if the match is good and if the story's good. Like to me, that's why I got to watch every week. I got to know what happens. I got to know why they're doing this, because like I said, if not, I'm lost interest and I'm scrolling on my phone.
Yeah,
go ahead.
go ahead. No, you go ahead, DJ.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, like, in terms of Ilya, and everyone already immediately saying he should go to AEW. He's going to AEW. AEW is the perfect fit for him. I fucking agree. We're about to send an actual wrestler, some like a Gunther style type of wrestler, to AEW. Ilya's not the type of guy to sit here and no sell 15 Canadian destroyers or do you feel me? Do
I
any
get
of
what
the
you're saying. I get what you're saying.
you know what I mean? He's not really the type of guy to do the AEW style, and the reason he flourished in NXT and NXT UK because that style fits him. So
That's kind of like they were saying with who was it 2 weeks ago that were wrestling? Was it Regal's kid and who was it? Regal's kid and Jay White. Was it them who had a match 2 weeks ago?
Not Regal's kid.
Finley's kid.
Finley's kid. Sorry.
No, that's why I was confused for a second because I thought you were talking an NXT match. I was
No,
like,
that's what I was like. That's what I was getting to. I was ready to get the
sorry. Sorry, I got my old English guys.
It was last week.
And it was a good grappling match, but it just wasn't going over big. Now, granted, that crowd kind of blew anyway, but it just wasn't getting the reaction because the AEW crowd wants the continuous high spots and stuff, where ground-based grappling isn't really what they're looking for. So I get what you're saying on Ilya. So I mean, he might be better off going to New Japan.
New Japan, or maybe even Mexico, or work one of the other smaller independents like Cross is doing right now, or even for shits and giggles, TNA. TNA, I think, would actually be an ideal place for Ilya, especially in the X division right now.
I wish they would start doing 6 months contracts. I know why they don't, but I would love to see just someone be like 6 months TNA, on to the next one. Do a feud, move on. But
that's what
they're
they
not
basically.
really.
That's what they basically do in TNA. Unless you're one of the top guys, they only do like 3-month contracts.
Yeah, they only do 90 days.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they do. TNA has doing 90-day contracts for.
Oh, they do cup of coffee contracts. That's kind of
that's
cool.
why there's such a turnover, and why you're always hearing about this one and that one leaving TNA so fast.
Yeah, like the only names I think are on long-term contracts are like Nick Nimitz, the Hardys, Cora Jade, Moose. Like the
people who don't want to grind, they just want to. They don't. Not that they don't want to grind, but they've done the grind and they kind of just want a place, a home base.
Well, there's also people that have just been there for so long. The Eddie Edwards and the Moose, they've been there for a decade. They're not going anywhere at this point. So
True.
They have those long-term deals.
But I think on the Ilya thing, though, the thing that confused me the most is I'm seeing comments like people saying, "I'm sick to my stomach. I'm so disappointed. Triple H deserves to be hanged. Triple H needs to go in front of the Hague." What I don't understand is, yes, he could have been booked better, but everyone could be booked better by someone else's opinion. He wanted to leave. They wanted him to stay. They couldn't reach a deal. He left. So it was amicable. He wasn't released. He wasn't dumped. He wasn't cut. Now they'll make up and say he was going to have to take a pay cut, but there's nothing to support that, right? So I just don't understand why we're upset. Ilya wanted to leave. They let him leave. They're not holding him hostage in catering. Like, one of my favorite wrestlers, because I'm a big black and gold guys, I love Keith Lee. I haven't seen Keith Lee on my TV now I know he's had some health issues, but I'm pretty sure he's been good to go for over a year. And if he's not good to go, like, I just want to see Keith Lee wrestle again.
Well, that falls into whether he's actually good to go. Is it simply Tony Khan not putting him out there because he doesn't want to take a chance? It's the classic. I would love to have Keith Lee back. Maybe one day he'll be, dude. You're the booker. Put him on. But one of the best lines I saw someone say today is that Ilya Dragunov is a younger version of Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson. Like, what are we doing? There's no way that Bryan Danielson and Ilya Dragunov are in the same conversation.
Are they even the same styles?
No,
completely different styles.
I think that's just people thinking two good wrestlers are the same people.
No, they're just thinking of two small guys and trying to make a comparison off of that. But yeah, no, I'm one of the people who don't think Ilya fits AEW. Like, again, if he goes to AEW, he's just going to be another guy, most likely in the Callis family, let's be honest. And he's not going to be featured prominently. He's just going to be either in the international, TNT, national, one of the million mid-card titles in AEW.
I guess he could rock and roll in ROH though, but
either way, you know what I mean? But I feel like he fits ROH more than AEW at least.
Yeah.
I disagree. I think he's definitely going to AEW. I would not.
Oh, he's definitely going, but if he'll be a fit.
I will not be shocked if he's a surprise in that gauntlet match.
Oh yeah. They got to strike while the iron's hot, and he just got freed up.
Especially that, the more people talk about him today than they have in the 7 years he was with WWE.
And you know what? I'm not going to lie. I'm a pop when he comes out because I like the guy.
No, I don't think there's a doubt that he's going to go to AEW. But
I think there's better options. Yeah, I feel you.
In terms of a fit, I don't think it fits. And I don't think if he's looking to do something better than what he was doing in WWE, why go to AEW when you're just going to be featured for 2 weeks and then back where you were?
Yeah, he'll either be put into one of the Sorting Hat heel factions, or he'll get to start a new one. Because
I honestly think he would come in as a babyface. To be honest with you, I don't think he would come in as a heel.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't think because I haven't seen him. Has he been a heel? Like, how does he heel?
He'll be part of the Bang Bang gang because he'll be a babyface. If you're not part
Sorting
of the
Hat says
family,
Bang
you
Bang
join
gang.
the Bang Bang gang.
Tony's going to start his own League of Nations.
Now, the interesting thing is, apparently, he's had that name the entire time. So does that mean he could come in as Ilya Dragunov?
What's his pre WWE name, or is that
Ilya Dragunov?
Yeah, he was.
He owns the name. No, he owns the name.
All right,
so I guess
So he doesn't have to rebrand himself. Okay.
So basically, we're gonna hear some Russian type of intro, and it's gonna be him.
Yeah, but So it's
some
not
Tetris music.
It's not going to be a situation though where you see a different name and he'll get no reaction. They'll actually see Dragunov, then they'll pop because that's what they're trained to do, and then then he'll have a match on Dynamite, and then he'll have a match on Collision, and then it was nice knowing you. We'll see. Will you see it putting over Mark Davis on the pre-show, and then maybe you'll beat Bandito for the ROH title, and that's where you'll be.
That's probably a good prediction.
But I love the usual the list of
the dream
match, dream match list.
We haven't even got through our list on the last 9 signings.
I know. So, but WWE's not gonna miss a beat. It is what it is. He wasn't being used because he told them basically, I'm gonna go once my contract's up. I'm not gonna resign.
It's cash and creative.
So why are you gonna put him on TV? TV's limited as it is. There's plenty of talents not getting TV time. Why are we gonna use someone who's out the door with foot out the door? So,
right. Why start something, or why just put him on TV to job him out? I'm sure he didn't want that either.
Which is funny because that's something I think Vince would have done. Vince would have buried the guy. So you ruin his freaking credibility and the stock he has for when he goes outside. That's a Vince.
Fucking Brock Lesnar was the Brock Lesnar moment at Royal Rumble was that. I don't give a fuck what no one says. In hindsight, now that everything went the way it went, Yeah, no, the Brock Lesnar no selling, laughing in his face, and then chucking him out like he's a fucking 5-year-old. That was Triple H's version of the Vince embarrassment ceremony. That yeah, we're done with you. We're not using you. Get the fuck out of here.
That
See,
could have just been Brock being Brock too.
Right. I disagree with that because I don't think he told them all the way back in January or February, whatever
So
it was.
you're saying they featured him in the Royal Rumble, didn't put him on TV at all between the Royal Rumble and Mania, and then put him on the Battle Royal show at Mania just to say goodbye. No, like, come on now. No, that was definitely a humiliation ritual to fucking bury him.
I don't think that. I would think it's
if,
more likely just Brock being a curmudgeon and being Brock. If he doesn't like you, he doesn't like you. If he likes you,
why even put him in the Rumble then? At that point, there was no point to it
because they needed bodies. It was Saudi.
You're going to tell me that
Saudi?
They could. Oh, so Dragunov is a big hit in Saudi that they couldn't get.
No, not a big hit, but who? Again, they only have a limited number of motherfuckers who wanted to go to Saudi Arabia. I'm pretty sure Dragunov said, "Okay, I get to work. I'll do the fucking show."
I just don't. I think that, like Hal was saying, I think that was just Brock being Brock and Brock thinking he knows what he was doing. I don't want to believe that there was.
See, no, what I think it was. If we were gonna say if it's Brock being Brock, Brock went along with it. Brock definitely was like, "Okay, yeah, sure, I'll fucking do it." Brock, you know what I mean? Like they probably asked him to do the spot with Ilya, and he's like, "Okay, yeah, well, I'm gonna no sell the shit out of it, but sure, I'll let him chop me in the fucking corner, and then I'll throw him out like he's a fucking ragdoll."
Brock said, "I've already reached my quota of helping new talent. I will not be helping anymore."
Brock didn't do any jobs yet at Rumble.
He was up, but he was already on the helping out Oba, making Oba look big because that's when he first started.
That's when it started. He just squashed Cena.
Yeah, he did on the ESPN show.
He was coming off of the Cena squash. That's the last time we saw Brock.
Which I guess in theory, the Cena squash was to make Brock look tough again, so then he could lose to Oba. I don't really like. That's one I haven't been able to connect the dots.
Claims.
Yeah, I haven't been able to connect the dots on that one. That one's a little disconnected. But I like the whole thing on the Ilya. He wanted to leave. They let him leave. They didn't have anything for him. They couldn't meet on money or creative. So he gets to leave. The beautiful thing about 2026 is we have other options. We can see Ilya again. We're going to see him again. He's not gone forever. So why are we losing our minds over it? It's better than him being stuck in catering.
It's the it's the evil WWE narrative.
It is, and it's so tiring and so overplayed, and it's such easy engagement because people just don't understand. They don't get the concept. They book what they want in their heads, and if it doesn't match that, then death to Triple H.
And it is one-sided because if you don't see that on the other side when someone leaves AEW for the most part. No one was really saying that about Hobbs. No one was really saying that about Big Bill not renewing his contract, and he was off TV for months. So because deep down, I think they understand that going to WWE is better for them.
Or Britt Baker being held hostage for fucking 2 years,
and they're only going to bring her back for the Rebel show, maybe.
If they do, we'll see if they do. I think they will.
I don't think they have a fucking choice.
No, I think even I think if she truly is as close with Rebel as she is in real life, like I think it would be silly not to have her there just because they're not featuring her.
No, that's what I'm saying. Tony would get more shit if Britt Baker wasn't there, and it would take away from what they're trying to accomplish with her.
Right. It's like having her, the person she was most seen on screen with, not there. It's having the Road Warriors, but no Paul Ellering,
Or the Midnight Express without Cornette.
Right. You're inducting the Midnight Express into the Hall of Fame, but why isn't Cornette there? It's Brock Lesnar without Paul Heyman. Just people who are associated with him. It's just going to lead to more questions. But but there's no outrage that Britt can't wrestle. Does she actually want to leave? I don't know if that's just internet. But if she actually wants to leave, let her leave. Let her go wrestle somewhere else.
And that's the thing. They could have added her a year of injury time on Dragunov's contract. They
That's
wanted
what
to
I
be
kept
petty.
saying. I keep saying that if they want to be petty, they could have done the injury time BS.
And they
But the
didn't. They
fact
just
is,
said, fine. So, because you know what? They have so much talent. Losing Dragunov is not going to hurt them. This isn't
so
Roman Reigns taking his ball
right,
and going home. I mean, no matter how much how you want to slice it, he did not have a character. Can you tell me
right,
what his gimmick was, what his character was? He was a Russian guy who freaking
who's
wrestled.
tough.
Not even that. Name one promo he cut on the main roster. One.
Just a tough guy. Just a tough guy who took a beating in a match.
Yeah, he had backstage stuff with fucking Mello. That was the most he ever spoke.
But what's crazy, I love that U.S. Open Challenge run with Mello, Sammy, and Dragunov. I thought that was a good stretch, a good TV. But I think it sounds like we all like Dragunov, but we understand he wanted to leave. They let him leave. Like, so everyone should be happy. Now we don't have to say where's Dragunov. That's what I don't get. Like, let's be happy.
You could add Dragunov to your list of IWC terms.
Right. Jeez.
But anything else on the Dragunov topic?
Nah, I think
we've talked that one good.
I think we've beat.
I was gonna say we spent 20 minutes on that one.
There's really nothing else to say. Where do you want to go?
Can't wait to see him where he does next. I'll end on that. I can't wait to see what he does next.
Yeah.
All right. While we're on the WWE shilling topic, since Brandon's here, I'm just kidding. Let's talk about Monday Night Raw. WWE is continuing its strain of good wrestling television. I will say that. I think I think this is them trying to soften the blow of All In. The good TV going into All In, because it blows my mind since SummerSlam, everything's been firing on all cylinders. How it's supposed to be, not the bullshit we've had previously in 2026. Like, this shit was really good between the bloodline storyline throughout the show. Is Solo gonna fall in line? Jay doing his fucking victory lap, looking like a fool. Jacob, being conflicted. The fucking Gable Rey Mysterio match, you're gonna hear me rub that in Brandon's face in a bit.
You're not gonna rub it in my face.
There's gonna be some shit rubbed in your face, so be ready for fecal matter.
It's nothing to rub into my face though.
And then the Sol Ruka match was Sol Ruka Lyra, was it? Let me make sure. Yeah, Sol Ruka Lyra, that match wasn't that bad. The tournament matches, I didn't hate them, but they were kind of easy to tell who was going to win. But they were entertaining matches.
Yeah. No one thought El Fiscal was winning that match.
And
it's going to be the brothers. It's going to be the Lucha Bros. Yeah. But I mean, that tournaments. When has there been a tournament where we haven't? Well, I guess Oba was kind of surprised with the King of the Ring just because we knew he was working with Brock, but we knew who was going to win the Owen. We know who's going to win we know who's going to face off in the Continental Classic Cup.
Well,
so I mean, like, tournaments are always.
To be fair, that went sideways. I thought it was going to be Jay White and Moxley in the finals, but we'll get to that when we talk Dynamite.
All right.
No, but like I said though, Raw, SmackDown, and just main roster in general has put on a good strain of good wrestling television. WWE, the fact that AEW fans hit WWE with the whole your sports entertainment bullshit, they're at least putting together good, coherent wrestling shows that are coherent on a week-to-week basis. To where no Dynamite coincides or follows up from last week. It's literally just been consistent chaos building up to All In because everything is just up in the air and Tony's coming up with it on the fucking fly. So WWE, at least in my eyes, again, I rarely give these motherfuckers a pass or any type of praise, but their shows over the past few weeks have been good. Plus or minus a few things I have to nitpick.
Well, nothing's gonna. Yeah,
I've been pretty happy. I've been pretty happy with the last couple weeks.
Do you think it? Let me ask you. In all honesty, do you really think it has to do with All In, or do you think it's just
100%? You'd be fucking dumb not to coincide the two things. They got embarrassed with SummerSlam, SummerSlam was an embarrassment to them. Their show was not the biggest show of the summer. WWE ego was definitely hit. And the one thing about billionaires and billionaire conglomerates is that they have giant fucking egos. Of course, this is about AEW. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You're telling me they put on bullshit TV all fucking year, but then suddenly when the chance of the perception maybe changing just a little bit, fuck you, Corey, I said it. They're going to suddenly put in some fucking effort and do good television and feature stars and feature people the way they're supposed to be. And suddenly Braun Breaker's getting a fucking push now. Come on.
So you think that once All In and maybe All Out is done, they're going to flip back to being mediocre?
Oh, hell yes. They're going to go back to resting on their laurels until Royal Rumble. And then once Rumble season comes around, then maybe they'll kick it up for the Saudis. Yes, 100%.
I don't necessarily agree, but I have no counterpoint to say why I don't think you're. So I kind of honestly don't have any way to say you're not right, because I don't think they put that much stock in AEW's got great wrestling, so we need great wrestling. But again, I have nothing to support either way. So I just
No,
don't think
Cal, just hear me out. Hear me out, at least in my why I'm thinking this.
Yeah.
WWE does not want AEW gaining any positive momentum or any bigger share in the wrestling space. Is that true or not true?
Agreed.
So, like I said, and I've always said the amount of fucks that WWE gives about AEW does vary from time to time. Sometimes they'll just sit there and send NXT to go fuck with them and do a quick counter programming with an NXT PLE. But as of late, the main roster and main roster talent have been involved in WWE fucking with AEW. Why is it all of a sudden near, you know what I mean? Near AEW's biggest show, while AEW is somewhat picking up a little bit of momentum because of how bad SummerSlam was. You get what I mean? It's not, again, I'm not saying WWE is all hands on deck to fuck with AEW, but they are making decisions based on the possibility of AEW changing the perception.
Maybe. It could also be too that just, I've never thought they view the competition that they view AEW as is not so much they're worried about losing viewers to AEW. I think they're more concerned is AEW makes their wrestlers more expensive. They have to pay wrestlers more money now because they have to compete with what TK is offering them.
Oh no, I agree. I agree to that point as well. But WWE has realized this year that they've not only lost fans, they've lost ratings, they've lost attendance. The only thing that hasn't gone down is merchandise. People will still spend money on their fucking merchandise no matter what. But every other metric for WWE is down. And when those metrics go down, competition's metrics tend to go up as well. So WWE does not want to lose any lapsed fans to the competition. They rather just lose fans in general to wrestling than lose them to the competition. So, and again, if WWE didn't give a fuck about AEW, CM Punk would not be on Worlds Collide in Chicago the same day as All Out.
See that? I think that's a little bit of petty Punk in that. I think that's a little bit of they fired me on TV in my hometown.
No. See, I think Punk, again, I think it's kind of the same thing I said with Brock. I think Punk's going along with the idea. I don't think, you feel me? I don't think he's has hesitated a second. Oh, hell yeah, I'll hop on that Worlds Collide show and fuck with them, knowing that All Out is there.
You don't think
it was definitely a WWE idea that Punk's going along with because, hell yeah, I'll fuck with the competition. Fuck Tony. But at the same time, they're not going to do that. WWE isn't going to put them on that show if they're not trying to fuck with AEW and All Out. Or they're not going to tease Roman Reigns at first being on the show and then, no, we're just doing a Raw in Mexico. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. They're doing the subliminal things to get the casual, smart fan to try to jump ship from AEW to WWE. Or have potentially be like, oh, you know what? This WWE show does kind of look good. I might go to that instead of AEW.
Oh yeah, I mean, with the World Collide, I mean, there's really no way of talking around it. It's in the same town. They are.
Well, I also think I feel it's also in Punk's contract that if they're in Chicago, he has to show up. So, there's always that too.
I mean, it could be like you said.
Hogan must pose. Punk must be in Chicago.
I'm sure Punk doesn't mind taking the L to the arena and just not have and go home to his beautiful wife.
Yeah, he's never
And
going to
taking
not say
pictures
no
with
to.
and
He's never
take
going to
pictures with
not
his
say no.
coworkers.
Yeah, he's never going to not say no to getting a hero's welcome.
Right. And it's something new. I mean, has he ever wrestled in AAA before? Technically,
no, but it's also not technically AAA. So
oh yeah, you're right. It's NXT.
It's an NXT. I mean, he did the NXT house show loop this past weekend. So
I know it was in Petersburg. That's 20 minutes from me. If I had known about it, I would have gone.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like in terms of just the whole counter programming argument, and does WWE give a fuck about AEW to counter program them and shit? Yes, that's 100%. And that again, that I think that's the reason why they're putting effort into these shows, because I don't think that, and they owe fucking New Orleans a really big show, so they got to book strongly towards that. But yeah, let's get back to the Raw topic. Raw happened. I want to talk about the obvious first.
I want to ask you a question on the WWE subject. Do you think it is possible that TKO is lighting a fire under Triple H's ass after the bad SummerSlam ticket sales to make the shows better? And it's not simply just because they want
I don't think it's
AEW?
TKO. I think it's mainly Nick Khan.
Which, gets his marching orders from TKO.
I was going to say, I don't think Ari and Mark are giving a shit about it because they're making their money back. You know what I mean? As long as they're making money, they don't give a shit about attendance. But I do think Nick Khan, being that, that real head of the ship of WWE, and it's his ego that's really, being hit and under fire right now in terms of WWE about to lose to All In terms of one-day sales.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see it may not even be. It might just be Nick. It might just be Triple H. Like they beat us on they're going to do more than our biggest show. So I got something for their ass. They're coming to Chicago. There's nothing they can do with All In because that's in England. That's going to do the numbers it's going to do. But, now you're coming back to Chicago. Oh, well, we've got Chicago-made Punk. We got something for you.
Well, I'm talking just, the way that since SummerSlam things have, picked up in a creative sense that, if it's not necessarily, yes, there might be partial, because they got quote unquote embarrassed by AEW, but also the fact that, they basically, they basically pulled their own version of the Titus O'Neil slide under the ring. And fell on their face. So, Nick is like, you know what? We got to improve this shit because, it's not working. I mean, look what they did. Tomorrow, we're taping this on a Thursday. Tomorrow's SmackDown. They got over 14,000 already for in Toronto. So, that's for a SmackDown. So
and Toronto tends to be more of an AEW friendly market.
Yeah, so but we also have a major match,
major match,
Punk and KO. So
yeah,
but
hopefully the first of many.
But let's switch back to Raw. I just was curious if
No, you're good. So the first thing I want to talk about is the best match on the show and possibly best TV match of the year: Gable versus Mysterio. And God, I remember, and I'm bringing this up. I know this is old, but I don't give a fuck. I remember me and Brandon getting into a specific discussion earlier this year about who's a better wrestler between Okada and Rey Mysterio in 2026. And Brandon habitually took the side of Okada. Told me this washed piece of shit, this lazy sack of fucking feces, this motherfucker who can't even get up and do a fucking proper drop.
I never said that about Rey Mysterio.
Oh, no. Shut up and let me talk, you motherfucker. He tried to sit here and say that Okada in 2026 is a better in-ring wrestler than Rey Mysterio. If you want, again, if we're talking in-ring and we're talking performance, Rey Mysterio wipes his ass with fucking Okada. And let me explain why. No matter how hurt he gets, no matter how old he gets, Rey Mysterio still gives you the same quality of match every single fucking time. No matter what, if he's hurting or not hurt. you're getting the same. You're gonna see the same Rey Mysterio usually that you've grown up to see your entire life.
Yeah, they
And
need to give his knee doctor the Nobel Peace Prize. Gosh.
you know what I mean? In Okada in 2026, I'm sorry, he does not give you the same quality of match as he would in New Japan. I'm sorry, just because he can have a good match every once in a while, just because he decides every once in a while if he feels like it that maybe I want to make Takeshita look good or Fletcher look good, which are the only two people he's made look good in AEW. We can't not say that he is a better wrestler than Rey Mysterio in 2026, especially after what the fuck we just saw. Because
let me ask you something, though. Let me ask you a question. True or false? Was 99% of that conversation a troll job by me?
False. Hell no. You actually fucking believed it.
Bullshit. You gonna tell me I wasn't trolling a specific somebody on that conversation?
No, you were, but you were actually You were also arguing with me.
Yeah, because I doubled down because I couldn't go. Yeah, because I couldn't go back on it.
Episodes of rockin' ropes of this shit.
I couldn't.
I'll bring back the fucking tape.
Listen to me. Bring them back, but I couldn't start and then go back on what I was saying because then I ruined the entire work.
No, so I had to stick with the work. Get the fuck out of here. I was working and I couldn't backtrack on my fucking work.
Come on. You know I was trolling that person whose name shall not be named.
Aaron, tell Brandon he's being silly. You've been silly. Yeah, listen to the 3-year-old. What the hell is wrong with
I am. His name is Taylor Grift.
But no, like I said, this match, Ray turned back the clock. He definitely turned back the clock at least 10 years on this one. He had one of his best TV matches since the good old days. And honestly, mainly it was due to the dance partner he had. Because Gable is he's the best wrestler in the world right now. I don't care what no one says. In ring, in terms of getting the best out of every match, Gable is the best in the world.
Should have been Kurt Angle's son.
Should have. I don't know why the only reason Jason Jordan got it is because it was a rib on Vince with Kurt liking black women.
Yeah, that was definitely a Vince.
No, that's
nonsense.
why they did it. That's exactly why they did it. It was a fucking rib on him because of Kurt's preference of black women. Because he was fucking Raka Khan in fucking TNA.
That is textbook Vince, though.
So, like,
logic and reason out the window just to pop a giggle out of the old man.
But they had a good match. The crowd was insanely into this. They were actually disappointed when Ray didn't win. That's how good the fucking match was. And even when he didn't win, Ray helped still get Gable over as a solid upper mid-carder.
Oh, yeah, he beat the legend.
So this was a great example of what a television match should be, and to where you don't need a baby face or a heel. You could just throw two guys in there to have a good match and accomplish something, not go too far, not go too long, do everything they're supposed to do, and they accomplish their end goal. This is what a television wrestling match is supposed to be in 2026. You don't need baby faces. You don't need heels. I agree with that concept that everyone's been bringing up over the past few weeks. Yes, I agree with that. But at the same time, if you're trying to do a longer story context, yes, you need a clear baby face and a clear heel. But in terms of a TV match, you just need something for TV to fucking fill time for the week in between stories. This is how you do it. Tony Khan, AEW, please take note.
Did you notice they redid the Angle and Rey Mysterio spot with the 619 into the ankle lock?
Yeah.
I love
that.
I think that was from their SummerSlam match.
Mm-hmm. I was just so happy to see Ray going out there and just doing what he does best, like, especially at his age and how many knee surgeries he's had. It's just awesome to see that he can still go like that.
The match was great. I still don't understand what he did to deserve an Intercontinental title match. Because his last TV match, he got beat by Ethan Page. But, and that's the same garbage, reasons we give and we shit on AEW about. is just people just randomly getting title matches without like earning them.
I mean,
So,
well, hold on. I wouldn't say Rey Mysterio getting a title match out of random is a fucking problem. He's a legend. He can walk in and piss on the fucking carpet and ask for a title match and it'll be okay.
That doesn't get you. I'm sorry, I disagree with that. Just because you're a legend doesn't mean you just get a title match wherever you want.
But hold on, a mid card title, yes, it does.
Especially when
you hold on. If we're talking one of the world titles, yes, I'll go with you. But for a fucking mid card title, where we've done just random open challenge gimmicks for both titles over the years, yes, Rey Mysterio can walk in the door randomly off the street and ask for a title match because he's a fucking legend. I'm sorry.
I think you're both right. I think what we really could have used was 30 seconds of dialogue. Why is Ray getting a title match? Ray's a legend. All you need is Adam Pearce.
Well, no.
That's the thing. In
fairness, they did that the week before. They had a backstage where Gable came up to him and said he wants to defend the title against him.
That kind of makes sense.
But I still don't think that's enough for him to just get a match, especially when you've had guys who have been going back and forth against each other, loop-de-loop for months, trying to get an intercontinental title match.
Especially
if we're talking just some random Joe Schlo, if we're talking Royce Keys, yes, Royce Keys should not get an intercontinental.
Of course, you were going to say Roy. Of course, of all the names, you could have said Tozawa. You could have said Otis, but you had to go with that.
Time out. Before you start bitching, I'm using someone who was just recently signed and has been on TV, but has not paid his fucking dues on WWE.
He got wrote off injury though.
Rey Mysterio has done more than enough and paid his dues in WWE to where he can walk up off the street randomly, just signed today, and ask for a fucking title match.
Well, that makes sense because Chad Gable would want to, he's a babyface champion. I want to beat the best. I got to beat Rey Mysterio, an Intercontinental Champion legend. I just think anything with wrestling can always be explained. You just need to put the extra work into it sometimes. Like, every story can be made to make sense eventually because you're really working with a blank canvas. Everything we've watched over the years, rules get bent, things get changed. Sometimes it doesn't make any sense, but when it's all said and done, you can write the story to make sense at any point.
No, and Cal, I'm not saying Brandon's logic is wrong. He's right in having that logic in most cases, but when it comes to specific legends like Rey Mysterio, Randy Orton, Edge, or someone of that caliber, or if Chris Jericho got signed today and fucking asked for an Intercontinental title match on TV and he fucking got it, I'm not going to bitch about it. But if a guy like fucking Royce Keys, or if Julia comes out of nowhere and says, I want an Intercontinental title match and gets it, yeah, then I have a fucking problem. Because what the fuck have they done except for look like a fucking dunce or idiot on TV?
No, I get that.
Wait, time out. Let me ask you a question then, DJ. So you think that there was precedence for Jericho to get that title match against Kevin Knight last week just because he's a legend?
In that case, yes. In AEW case, yes, because Chris Jericho has done everything in AEW and for AEW to literally walk in and piss on the fucking door and say, I want a title match.
I can agree with because it's almost like what are you getting out of it as the champion? Oh, I got to defend my title, but I get the chance to beat this legend.
Exactly. You're getting when you beat them, you're getting somewhat of the rub off of them.
The prestige.
If Gable beats Royce Keys in a fucking IC title match, it does fuck all for Chad Gable.
It's just him putting the title on the line for no reason.
For no fucking reason.
What's he getting out of it? And so I think if you can always explain what someone's getting out of it, then you can make sense. So what is Gable getting out of it? Oh, I get to wrestle Rey Mysterio, and if I beat him, I beat Rey Mysterio. That's on my resume. So I get that where I beat Ethan Page, okay. You beat Ethan Page.
Context does matter. Again, having cachet in the wrestling business does give you some leeway. Punk said it. Again, there are double standards when you're a fucking star.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, that's just the truth of it.
That's actually consistent with wrestling because, the Stone Cold could show up tomorrow and say, I want a match with whoever the hell he wants.
If Stone Cold showed up tomorrow and said, I want a main event WrestleMania, guess what? He's main eventing fucking WrestleMania.
I mean, they kind of did it a couple years ago with KO. He said, I'll do a segment. He's like, actually,
I got one last match in me.
Let's wrestle.
You know what I mean? I got one last match, and I want to be the main event because, again, I'm Stone Cold fucking Steve Austin in Texas.
By the way, I'm super happy that Kevin Owens brought that up because I've always said that should be something that's pivotal in their story because they should treat a match like Stone Cold at WrestleMania. That's a big fucking deal. Like, you got the match that we all wanted Punk and Stone Cold to have 10 years ago. Punk decided to run away and not play anymore. But I stuck around and I said, I got the match with Steve. I got the match with the legend. Haha, you didn't. I think that's something, maybe they should steer more into that than you're fat. Because you can only go so far with your fat. Because honestly, half the crowd's fat,
At
so they're
least
not
without
really into that.
without Scott Steiner being your fucking manager.
Right. Yeah, Scott Steiner can call anyone fat. It's part of his gimmick.
What did you? I know it's been beat to the ground, but what did you think about the ending segment with the Bloodline? Solo LA Knight.
So not only just the ending segment, the story they built throughout the show was it felt like good prime Bloodline. You know what I mean? This is what we are known to expect from the Bloodline when it's hitting on all cylinders. And it also finally fucking vindicates and justifies me that they're goddamn fucking heels. Other than the fact that they dress in all black all the fucking time, other than the fact that they fucking beat up everyone on the roster now, they have done post-match beatdowns and fucking run-ins and all that shit. Not Roman specifically, but the rest of the Bloodline have been portrayed as fucking heels because they've been running around doing.
Oh, absolutely.
Bidding.
That's why Solo lost the match.
Approved it. Roman approved the beatdown of Royce Keys.
Not even approved it. I'm saying, though, that's what I'm saying. They're doing the bidding of Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns has henchmen again. Only heels have henchmen.
Yeah.
So, like, this whole episode pretty much confirmed and solidified that, okay, yes, the Bloodlines are fucking heels. They're heels again.
They are, and Solo is the babyface.
And Solo's the babyface, and they did a really great job of, at least throughout that segment, getting him over as said babyface.
Again, they basically recreated the Sami Zayn situation.
Right, but I also think that people confuse them getting a positive reaction means that they're baby faces, and there's two completely different things.
Listen, JJ's not here to defend himself, so I don't feel right you talking about JJ while he's not here.
I'm just saying, you tagged him, you called him out.
I called him and Capus out, okay? Because both of them motherfuckers try to look me in my eye and tell me they're not fucking heels.
But my whole point is, were the NWO heels at that beginning year and a half? But they still got the biggest babyface reactions.
Again, all joking aside, because I still love JJ and Capus. I'm just fucking with them because I like to toot my own horn. But in terms of at least finally establishing them as heels, it takes them out of the Death Riders fucking
right. They're out of the am I a heel, not a heel?
Not a heel. Yes,
negative.
Which was my whole problem with the Bloodline to begin with. I didn't like the whole Death Riders presentation that they were fucking doing. Because I hate it with the Death Riders, I'm gonna hate it with the fucking Bloodline too. I'm gonna be consistent, not tribalistic bullshit over here. But now that they finally solidified them as the heels, you know what I mean? And Solo and LA Knight are kind of the baby faces. And I think they did a really good job of not only establishing that, but getting both sides issue over. Like now people want to see Roman versus Solo. A lot more people wanted to see it the first fucking time.
Yeah, you're right.
And now they definitely want to see LA Knight get that title match.
And here's the crazy thing. It's now looking more likely that LA Knight's going to beat Roman Reigns for that belt with Solo's help. Solo and Jacob's help. So Jacob's going to be either conflicted or going to be tired of following these half-assed bullshit orders, and he's just going to either A, walk out, or B, just accidentally do something to Jimmy or Jay to cost Roman the belt. And then most likely what will be the case, LA Knight's going to get cashed in on whoever wins Money in the Bank immediately.
Oh, God, they want to deal with the wave of tears.
But let me ask you, what are the chances that KO wins tomorrow?
I think, honestly, 50-50.
50-50. I was going to say, I'm with Cal on this one, 50-50. It could go either way.
So, but would you say at some point during this program, because it's not going to be a one-off with Punk, I don't feel like.
No way.
KO and Punk will probably change the titles back and forth at some point. If it's not tomorrow, at least somewhere down the line.
Before Sammy got hurt, I was thinking Money in the Bank was going to be a 3-way ladder match or something like some type of 3-way match between those three
to take the belt off him without him getting pinned.
Yeah.
My whole point is this: what are the chances that they change both titles at a like non-major show, like a WrestleMania or whatever, so close together? That's my whole point.
I wouldn't. It depends. Again, they owe New Orleans a WrestleMania style of show.
They do owe something big.
New Orleans paid for a WrestleMania, and it got stolen away from them because of Vegas. And this is their consolation prize. WWE is going to go all out to make up for that fact if they want to keep getting paid to do these shows.
But I get what Brandon's saying though too is, are you going to really change both world titles in a 2-week stretch? Is it 2 weeks or is it a little bit more?
Yeah. I mean, it's a little bit more, but it's still
Let's not forget we also had a title change for Punk to win the title, and that was only 2 months ago. Maybe just recent WWE has reprogrammed us to think, because in the Attitude Era, I mean, they changed titles like, girls changed tampons. It wasn't like you had to wait.
There wasn't 2 world titles though at the time.
Right. So I guess
they hot potatoed the title every month during the Attitude Era. That's fine and good. I'm just saying, in current WWE, I just don't see them changing both belts so close together. Because they're both major title changes. So that's why
first time. Not first time, but
that's why I'm just wondering if it's something that they would actually do. That's all I'm wondering, is if you're going to change one, are they really going to change the other? I think LA Knight's getting the title match. I honestly just don't think he's beating Roman for it.
No, and I think if you see KO win, I think that'll tell you. But honestly, I want Punk to win and turn heel in the process. That's what I want. They won't boo him, but like we said earlier, they don't boo heels anyway.
Hold on. Now that I think about it, hear me out, because now the wheels are turning in my head. What if Jacob Fatu's in the Money in the Bank match, and he wins the fucking thing? And then, because they're going to have the Money in the Bank match before Roman's title match. So,
because Roman's definitely going to main event the show.
Exactly. So what if...
Oh, that would be fantastic.
So
that would be fantastic.
So what if the plan is, and just hear me out, maybe they're laying the breadcrumbs for this. What if Jacob's in the Money in the Bank match, because that's actually a match tailor-made for Jacob. He wins the thing. Okay, now Jacob's Mr. Money in the Bank. Roman in LA's later that night. Jacob, for some reason, isn't out there for their match because he won Money in the Bank. Maybe he's banged up or something. You know what I mean?
Or maybe LA Knight, plays the whole, you can't beat it without your family type thing. So
exactly,
Roman bans everyone from coming down.
Exactly, or Roman tells specifically Jacob to stay in the back or something, right? And it's only the Usos. Solo comes out, clears out the Usos. LA beats Roman. Jacob comes out, cashes in on LA. Now he's gonna try to become the new tribal chief because he has the belt. He's the
that tracks too. That tracks because that's what he said too when he first started interacting with Roman before he lost the. You got to serve under me. He was basically saying, "I want to be you. I want that money."
So
is that going to
have Jacob win Money in the Bank?
Is that going to piss the LA Knight fans off more?
Oh yeah,
they're going to complain no matter what. Wait, what pisses him off more? Him not winning the belt or him winning the belt for 5 minutes?
No, but I'm saying him winning the belt for 5 minutes can add on. It gives more credence to his climbing back up the mountain. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, okay, he lost the belt immediately, and then he's going to have to pay second fiddle to this bloodline shit behind Jacob and Roman.
I think you have him win, and then if Jacob cashes in on him, I think the blow of, oh, that's awesome, Jacob's the champion, will soften the, LA Knight already lost it, versus LA Knight never won it at all.
And not even that, guys. It also adds more credence to give LA Knight the Royal Rumble. Let LA Knight won. You know what I mean?
What if it goes
he can win the Royal Rumble after that.
All right, what if it goes the other way around? What if Roman retains and then Jacob cashes in on Roman? That gives more credence for him wanting to be the new head of the table and the new tribal chief.
Yeah. I think Jacob cashing in is really good. I think they've got a lot of meat on that. It sucks though that LA Knight would yet again be.
Yeah, they would be wiping their ass with LA Knight again. That's the only downside to that. LA Knight gets the shit under the stick. He's just the toilet paper of the fucking
Again, and I don't know how many times you can keep doing that to him. He's like basically the WWE version of Jay White.
And like I said, in terms of LA Knight, I'm just saying if you're trying to give the LA Knight quote unquote fan base slight gratification and justification for the way they've stuck behind this motherfucker, they've
Yeah,
stuck.
they're loyal.
You know what I
They're
mean?
loyal.
They've stuck behind him. Even though there was a small like amount of time where he was less over than what he was. Oh, he got that shit back in a minute.
Yeah, but I don't. They didn't. He didn't show no love for the cross diehards either. So I don't. I don't know if that'll kick LA Knight very far. I just would like to see LA Knight. You know, either it all works for me honestly because I'm already locked in on now. I want Jacob Fatu to win Money in the Bank and cash in and win. I'm sorry. I already forgot about LA Knight. Sorry, buddy. Yeah, you've already jingled keys and made me lose interest.
I mean, because you also got to think, the following month is War Games. So,
Yeah, we got to have some bloodline mass. I wish they mothballed War Games for a couple years, but they're not going to.
Roman's on the show. I don't think I assume he's going to be in War Games.
Yeah, it's going to be some sort of bloodline.
You at least kind of have teams building up in advance. It's not being done a week before the show.
Yeah.
So
they'll do that for the women's match.
Yeah, well, that goes without saying. But I'm just saying, so you kind of have things, also lining up for that. So there's a good stretch of story being told through 2 Survivor Series this year as of right now when it comes to bloodline stuff. So
I was going to say, they've definitely put a lot of good pieces in place over the past few weeks to give us things to think about for the future. And that's what WWE has been lacking in 2026 and 2025. Like
right, the threads you can pull into different storylines and
stuff. Like let us at least, you know what I mean? Let us put the threads out there and follow the fucking the weird fucking serial killer map thing that you see on TV all the time. That's what I want to do with storylines. Let me think of all the fucking possibilities where you can go. That's what intrigues me. Not just this is what we're doing. Stay here for next week for us to figure out what the fuck we're doing.
Because if you've watched wrestling long enough, there's 5 outcomes and you know them all because you've watched it so many times. It's like we've talked about, I think, in the chat. Like there's just unwritten rules in wrestling. I kept going on a rant that Ova couldn't go for the title because unwritten rule of wrestling, as soon as he was going to win the title, Brock was going to interfere and cost him the match. These are things that we know as long-term wrestling fans. It's because it's what happens every time. When you have a sit-down contract signing, someone's going through the table. These are just things that happen every time. So, yeah, if you can just get me an engaging story, sure, I'll be able to 95% of the time predict who's going to win. But that 5%, man, that 5% hits like crack in the 80s when they can get you and you don't see it coming.
Well, I think the other big story that came out of Raw is they officially made Oba and Braun Breaker for Sunday night's main event. But
I want that. I like that match, but I just don't. I don't see how you.
It's not meant for that place.
How do you book that match though? How do you? You can't have Oba lose. You can't have Braun lose.
You do a double DQ.
And then we gotta hear about Smaj.
No, not even a WDQ. Don't have the match start. Have them brawl before the match and have the match thrown out.
I can't see them doing that because they've been super advertising it. But I just see. To me, I was big on a best of 7 series. That way they could trade losses, but it doesn't seem like they're going that route. It just Braun needs to win some matches. He needs to win, and Oba, he can't come off retiring Brock Lesnar in Hell in a Cell with a loss. So I feel like they booked themselves into a corner and they can't do aliens. You know, when a movie gets too crazy and they can't figure out how to move the plot, they just somehow interject aliens. I don't see how they're going to do that.
The only thing is that it's been a setup by Paul Heyman to gain the trust of Oba and Paul Heyman.
And that's probably what they're going to do. So we're going to get an Oba loss. But
so Oba gets, it's obviously not clean. That's the only thing because they've been teasing with the handshake and, do you think Oba's the future? All this stuff. And I'm sorry, Paul Heyman doesn't work as a babyface.
No, Paul will never
So
work as a babyface.
and Heyman and Oba doesn't need him as a manager.
No.
Hold on.
I
So,
like.
Time out. Before you guys said, y'all said something that I couldn't let slip by. We can't say Paul Heyman never worked as a babyface because he got one of the biggest pops of his career in Madison Square Garden when he told Solo that you aren't my tribal chief.
Right, but can you? To me, Paul Heyman as a babyface is similar to if you Bobby Heenan being a babyface. It's just
It can be like you can get it for a month.
I understand what you're saying that he got the biggest pop.
You're right. You're right.
You know,
I wasn't thinking about that, but he never like continually played the baby face. You know what I mean? Like he was being treated like shit, and finally, stood up for himself.
And he was still loyal to Roman at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what that was.
But about. You're right. But I don't think Paul in general would be someone you want. You don't want him being a babyface with a monster like Oba. Like that just doesn't seem like it works to me. And I think Oba can do an all right promo. I don't think he needs him. I think part of the promo is part of his mystique because of his accent. I think like that helps his character is him talking.
And just the way Paul talks and his cadence, and he kind of talks down to people, even when he's like trying to glaze them. It just, he just does. To me, it doesn't work. It's like it feels almost forced if he's a babyface. Right.
So or he's doing heel stuff but getting cheered.
Right. So
hold on, real quick. Speaking of the Braun segment, I do want to bring this up because it was fucking hilarious and the memes were going around all week. Oba Femi doing the Braun Breaker impression was fucking amazing.
It was
the greatest thing ever. I can't even. I'm trying. I was gonna do it, but I can't stop laughing.
And just the fact that he dropped his accent for it.
Right. It was good, but I think with Oba, I think yeah, you're probably right. That's what they're gonna do. So Oba will get the L. The ICW will say he got buried, even though it's probably gonna take the entire Vision, to interfere.
I don't think the Vision's getting involved. To be honest with you, I don't think it's going to be a Vision thing.
You don't think so? You don't think they'll use?
I hope
not. Actually, hold on. I think you might be wrong, Brandon. Think about it. There could be another way that they have a match and Oba can lose in a contested fashion. Bronson Reed returns and fucks it and tsunamis Oba like 5 times.
They did.
There you go.
Question though. Does he need a new move? He
looks jacked too.
Does he need a new move? Does the tsunami still work at 250 pounds?
No, he's still a big guy. It works for any guy over 320 pounds.
You're right though. He's not landing with that big old belly.
He's down to 255 at this point.
Dude, he looks like a killer.
And they did say they're going to push him. They did say they're going to push him into a main event slot. So you have him interfere. You have him cost Oba the match.
Yeah, I think you got that one, DJ. I think that's probably their out. The Bronson comes because
Braun gets the win for now because they could do later down the line. They'll do a rematch. Oba doesn't really lose anything because it's not a clean win. And honestly, at this point, I don't think Oba could be hurt by a loss. And then you move on to Bronson Reed against Oba.
Yeah, I think because I think they need to delay. Now, people are going to complain, but I think they need to keep punting on Oba with the world title because I think his first challenge for the world title, he's got to win it. So I think as long as they can kick the can down the road, get him with because he might win the Rumble and then we get him main eventing.
That's another reason that I don't know about Roman winning the title.
Yeah. LA Knight?
No, I mean Roman losing the title, I should say.
Gotcha. I don't think Roman loses the title, but man, I want that Jacob Fatu cash in now. Right. I don't see him losing though. And if it's that,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, go ahead. I was good.
I was going to say the last thing I want to just discuss when it comes to Raw in that segment is everyone losing their mind over what Paul Heyman said during that promo, and then misconstruing what is said. He made mention about, WWE has to answer the stockholders. And his implication in the context was because they wouldn't just give away this match for free right there in, I forgot where they were last week.
That's something Paul Heyman would say, though. That's right. On par with his character.
So of course the IWC went off, and WWE said that they don't care about the fans and what the fans
Don't say
think.
the IWC. Let's point to the head bald bitch who started the whole fucking thing in charge. Fucking Ricochet commented on it and said, "We do this for the fans, and we don't have shareholders to answer to. It's because
Paul,
nobody wants to invest in your stupid fucking company."
It
Let's
wasn't
remember.
just
Hold on, Brandon.
It
I want
wasn't
to
just
state this too
Ricochet
for public.
though.
Hold on, Brandon. I want to state this too for public consumption, just so it don't sound like DJ's talking out his ass. Last time I checked, there were reports coming out when Tony was around contract time that Tony was looking for investors for AEW. There were reports. So I don't want to hear this whole, we don't have shareholders. It's not due to a lack of trying.
I'm so sick of the ICW losing their mind over promo lines. Paul Heyman was playing the character of Paul Heyman saying heel shit to explain why they weren't doing a match on Raw so the crowd would boo. I mean, like, are we seriously, WWE is bragging about their shareholders? No, they're not. No, they're fucking not.
And
A heel manager is talking shit.
And they're taking a shot at AEW, but because they're not going to put this big match on free TV.
That's not a shot at AEW. That's just what heels have always done. That's what heels have always done. We're not giving it to you for free in shithole Poughkeepsie. This is going to be on a pay-per-view because you're a star and it's worth money. Like, that is something every heel manager has said and done. That is not anything to do with WWE.
Well, hold on, Cow. In their defense, AEW doesn't know what a good heel manager is. So they've never had a good heel manager.
Someone told me that
for good heel managers is fucking Dan Lambert and Don Callis.
Dan Lambert just being the ICW.
I was gonna say I took people back 4 years bringing up Dan Lambert.
American Top Team. Hey, whatever happened? Remember Paige Van Sant was supposed to wrestle?
Yeah, then she took the Mandy Sachs route and realized OnlyFans is way more money.
She realized bumping hurts. Bumping hurts a lot. I think that's a major disconnect with wrestling fans too on the internet.
At least the bump she wants to take hurts.
Yeah. But yeah, I think I can't believe that we're microanalyzing lines in a scripted promo on a TV show and treating it like it's some ulterior dig or motive. It was Paul Heyman in the character of his heel manager role, which he's played for 3 decades, saying, no, we're not giving you this awesome match that everyone in the stadium wants to see right now. You got to wait because I'm a bad guy, and that's what bad guys do. Like, get the fuck out of here.
And because they want people to tune in to Sunday night's main event.
Right. You were booking a show. Oh, Paul Heyman's being a promoter and promoting a show? Oh my goodness. Has that ever happened? Like, that's the stuff that bothers me is the
because that's
fake outrage.
And that's the little brother syndrome or, main character syndrome that AEW fans have. They think everything is about them. And I just wanted to bring that up because that was something else that came up on TV.
Yeah, I honestly had that outrage had gotten lost in the sea of other outrages since then.
Like I said, this week was just full of IWC bullshit this week.
Yep.
Compared to the fucking nothing burger we had last week.
Yeah, we had like no news.
I think that's our WWE part of the show. I think.
Yeah. So what we've talked about? We talked about Dragunov. Wish him well. Raw was great. What you guys got next?
We're going to be dragging off to AEW. That's a perfect fucking segue.
He's going to be dragging off to AEW too. Like I said, I'm a pop when he shows up. I'm going to buy the pay-per-view. I'll get told by sickos I'm not a fan, but I'll drop my $50 again on the pay-per-view like I've had since AEW's existed.
I'm not a fan, but I paid to go because I wanted to get in Dax's face because I knew exactly where it was going to be.
Yeah, you're going to a live show to hate watch. Actually, I mean, like I said, I still on that. It cracks me up that they think that's a dig. I think it was great. I think, honestly, he did exactly what Dax needed.
Or that I got bitched out by him.
You got bitched out by a heel character playing a heel character.
Meanwhile, I didn't move. But I got bitched out because I didn't swing at him. Like, really?
Like, what? These people.
So here's the funny thing, too. I listened to the fucking Cornette clip like 2 weeks ago of him calling you a fucking plant. And I'm just sitting here laughing like, oh my God, I co-host a show with this motherfucker now.
It was a show in the ECW arena. That was what happened every time the Dudley Boys came out.
I've had issues with the Dudley Boys 20 years ago, but that's a different story for a different day. The other funny part about Cornette talking about me is Cornette's got me fucking blocked for years.
Oh, how'd you get blocked by Corny?
I don't know. I never interacted with him. Somehow I'm blocked. Same thing with Dustin Rhodes. Never interacted with him, but I'm blocked for years and years now. Before I was even really in the IWC space on Twitter. But
I'm blocked by Kevin Nash. That's about it.
You want to know who I'm blocked by, which is odd and weird out of nowhere? Wade Barrett.
Really?
What did you do? Did you
I have no fucking clue.
You get some bad news. Hey, I love bad news. I love bad news, Barrett, man. The scissor lift, I loved it. Loved it.
But yeah, let's talk about Dynamite. What did you think of the show last night?
I think there was a lot that wasn't for me, but there was stuff that was for me. I've been wanting Kenny to go if they're going to do the Will Ospreay's fighting back from adversity, and I'm glad they picked a side instead of us just sitting in. Kenny's kind of being a dick. Why is he being a dick? Okay, he is being a dick. He's being a heel now. That was what because that whole sit down interview, he was needling him. He brought up his kid. So it made sense at the end of the show that he just ripped off the Band-Aid and went full heel. So I think that makes the match feel a little bit more to me. And I hope Kenny wins. Not because I don't want Ospreay. I think you turn him heel for him to then lose in 2 weeks just makes no sense.
Well, like I said, I think I said it to you earlier. I see it very much like Shawn Michaels with Hogan. They turned him heel for 4 weeks.
Just we're doing this storyline. You'll be heel, and then next week,
and then you're gonna go back.
You'll save someone.
Like it never happened. Like he never apologized to Hogan or anything. He just went back to being,
But then Hogan disappeared.
Babyface.
The only reason that worked though is Hogan disappeared after that. He went away for a while.
Yeah, I think Kenny is.
You think Kenny's going to take a break?
I think Kenny's taking a break. He said himself, his body's not the same. So I think this is basically this title reign and this main event is basically his golden watch. His thank you for everything you've done type deal.
I think they figured Ospreay Omega was better than Ospreay and MJF, which for that crowd in Wembley, it probably is. And don't get MJF is my absolute favorite thing about AEW and has been since day one.
It's a better match, but I think it would have been a better story with MJF.
Oh, I think MJF could have gone absolutely nuclear, and I don't think Kenny can go to that. Kenny will come off as a zany, crazy person.
Kenny is a terrible heel. Let me
just say, he's an 80s movie. He's an 80s movie heel. He only knows how to heel as like a I'm crazy maniacal guy, look at my
he knows how it's like he's pretending. You can tell he's obviously pretending to be a bad guy. Like it's like you're asking a 3-year-old to do an impression of a mean person.
That's what I'm getting to. Like, it's just so campy and over the top.
You know what I mean? It's over the top. He's going for the
let
me just talk about your mom and kid.
Him walking backstage and just kicking a puppy or something.
I feel like Kenny's not putting any actual heel thought into his character or whatsoever. Let me actually come up with some good mean shit to say. Like your brittle ass neck that can break it in any second because you're so fucking brittle, or how you're my favorite journalist is a new favorite toy because I'm old and not wrestling no more. You know what I mean? Real digs, shit like that.
Oh, I mean, if it was MJF would be saying you stole your dead buddy's girl.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
MJF be going in the gutter.
So here's my thing with the Ospreay Kenny thing. Again, I will admit they're building a story with this. They are doing something with it, but in AEW, I don't want melodrama in my main event title feud. I'm sorry. I want two motherfuckers who have animosity towards each other and are fighting for the biggest prize the fucking company has to offer. You know what I mean? If I'm looking at a rivalry in general, if we're looking at a main title championship rivalry,
we can all agree All In is their WrestleMania.
Exactly.
Yes.
And if we're building towards that, I'm expecting a John Jones Daniel Cormier type of feud. The way those two motherfuckers built every one of their fucking fights.
Well, it was like last year when they were like Hangman finished the story, but no, Hangman didn't finish the story. Number one, he'd already been champion. Number two, they've missed the whole concept of finishing your story with Cody was him finishing his dad's story.
And not even
That's
that.
the story he's finishing.
It wasn't even Hangman's story the finish. It was Darby's. It was Darby's. It was Darby's story to finish, but he got hit by a bus and decided to climb a fucking mountain.
Yeah, he did. I'm going to climb a mountain.
And now I don't know, where do they go for the go home show to really, knock it home? Because wrestling,
Kenny has to walk into Ospreay's house and ass fuck his wife. That's the only thing he's gonna go in and get actual fucking heat. Go into Ospreay's house, make a sandwich, walk in the room where his wife's sleeping, and close the fucking door. That'll get him some actual heat. If they don't do that, I don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Windsor might be able to stomp his ass out, though, man.
And then tell her to clean up after herself.
Windsor looks like she could whip his ass, though, man. I'm not putting it past her. I'm
saying though, that's how far they have to go in order this angle.
They're gonna have to do the kid. They're gonna have to keep bringing up the kid. Really, that's the only angle. They're gonna have to just keep, talking about the kid. If that's gonna be because they've already kind of done that. But yeah, I don't. What's gonna beat him down again?
Pull a Raven and a Sandman. Have the kid cost Ospreay and say that Kenny's my dad.
Oh man, a big pop for me on that. After he gets blinded with the kendo stick.
Yeah, a little old school.
But you got to remember, man, those fans don't know what's TV and what's real life, so they're going to be really mad and think Kenny's actually doing all that.
I mean, DJ, what did you think of the show as a whole? I gave it a 7 out of 10.
That's not a bad rating. It was better than most Dynamites, and they actually did a lot of building towards All In. Sorry if you guys hear Aaron in the background. He's playing.
Oh, no worries.
SpongeBob.
But they literally fit everything in that show. In 2.5 hours, they fit every single match that they're having. At some point, they had something related to it on that show last night.
No,
they did.
But compared to how AEW usually builds towards their pay-per-views and stuff, and how sporadic and everything else is, this was kind of a nice difference for them for actually putting in some effort to do some things. Now, as far as the trios division shit, I think that's a giant cluster, because I can't swear, Aaron, so I can't say what I really want to say, but they have no direction for it, and it's obviously being used as a vehicle to introduce the New Day and put the belts on Swerve in the New Day. It's one of the many things on this show that feels like, or when I mean this show, I mean All In, that feels like a foregone conclusion. This trios match kind of feels like a foregone conclusion. Mercedes versus Willow feels like a foregone conclusion. Ospreay and Omega, kind of a foregone conclusion. So it's kind of hard to do builds for those specific matches when you already kind of have an idea what the end result is going to be.
Yeah, I think very, very predictable card. Very predictable card. But they might pull some fast ones on us to try to keep us on our toes. Honestly, the biggest one I could see is Mercedes not winning. And I know a lot of people don't agree with me on that, but I can honestly see Mercedes not winning.
I honestly can't find it a world where she loses at All In twice in a row.
That's true. That's true. But so there's a big chance I'll be wrong on that one, but it's all right. But I'll mention the New Day because I was talking about this the other day online. I do not think sticking the New Day in a debut trios match is the right move in any way, shape, or form. They are a prolific tag team. They have a built-in outside of wrestling feud with the Bucks that's been going on for like 8 years, since before AEW even existed. So in my thought process is the New Day, the first thing the New Day needs to do is immediately be in the Bucks face. And that's what the Bucks should want too, because it's not about championships. They both have won more world titles than anyone. It's about who is really the best tag team of that time period.
What if there's no pun intended and there's an actual Swerve and it's not New Day with him? And they do that after the Bucks win the tag titles.
Then I would be super pumped, and that would be exactly what I would. And if it's not what happens, then I'll be all right because I can deal with not getting my way. But it's what I think makes the most sense. And as someone who I was a Bucks fan before AEW, and I just
Boo!
love the stuff. And I wish the Briscoes were still an option because I think those three tag teams would be just exactly that time frame was you had the Briscoes, you had the Bucks, and then you had the New Day, and they just were just running the tag team. Where it was like the last time WWE actually cared about tag teams.
I
So
just
Um,
feel,
hold on,
I
real quick.
feel with this. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Just because Cal, the only thing I disagree with you both in the thought of Tony's wasting them, throwing them in the trios division, only because Tony just debuted the machine guns and haven't used them on TV yet. So I think they're the next plan for the Bucks when they get the belts.
and
And
that's probably what they're gonna do, but I
no,
don't
but
think that's right.
hear me out. Just hear me out real quick. Just because you know how the Bucks are with tag teams they like to work with, especially ones that have a high work rate kind of match. So I can see them pulling what they did with the Lucha Bros and doing off rip a 5 match series with
Yeah, no, definitely. I don't think that's what they should do. I think for the purpose of how to make the story so meaningful is it should be on site. I'm in this company. I'm finally where the Bucks are. We need to settle this shit that we started at Comic Con, however many years ago. That is the most logical move with bringing them in because we know them and the Bucks have history, and they've never locked up. So that to me, like anything other than that is you're saying that
no, and
that's not
I
number
agree
one
with that.
priority.
I agree with that premise, but I also agree with the thought of Tony. If we're in the thought process of Tony Khan, and that's at least for the future, for the next at least 2 to 3 months, the plan will probably be Machine Guns Bucks or Machine Guns Bucks FTR.
And I
And
think that's a mistake.
and
But,
hold on, let me just finish this. I think that Tony, in his mind, is justifying it, and right, and in my defense, rightfully so, putting him in giving them the trios belts immediately, especially with Swerve. They'll at least the New Day will be able to get the Swerve Strickland rub off of them in AEW as their introduction in AEW instead of just coming in as WWE guys. You
but
know,
I think
on their
I
own.
think they're the New Day though, man. I don't think they need. I mean, I think they're bigger stars than Swerve.
No, but in AEW, not in AEW. And you have to remember the AEW audience is a whole different audience you're tailoring to than the WWE one. You're not going to, I don't think, if you just debuted them as Xavier, Austin Creed and KSM and, their former WWE guys debuting on their own in the tag team division, they're going to get lost in the shuffle. People are just going to see them as other WWE guys, and they're going to be in the same position that Ricochet is in right now.
But that's
And,
why I'm saying you go straight for the Bucks. You go straight for the
no,
Bucks, and that
that's why.
builds it as that. That says, hey, that's I've been waiting for you guys. I've been looking for you. That to me, like. But you're probably right. Like they probably are, unless they pivot and FTR ends up with the machine guns. But just to me, like I said, that's just what I would like to see, and I think would make the most sense given if you're gonna like the New Day and the Bucks don't like each other. I mean, they probably are really good friends, but in terms of wrestling, you were the guys who said you were better than us. Oh no, wait, you guys said you were better than us. That's just what I think would be the best move. But I mean, it's pretty much they're gonna be in a trio. But if they do the trio match and then later in the night they come back out and fuck with the Bucks, then I get my cake and I eat it too.
But if you're going to put the trios titles, I mean, they're not going to go for the tag titles.
That's
I also
true.
think
That's
I also
true.
think this concept of for this multi trios match, which we don't even know what they're doing. Is it a gauntlet match? Is it a freaking 15 people just brawling? Whatever.
Ladder
I think
match, 15-person ladder match.
I think it's just stupid, and it's basically trying to
It's
just
convoluted.
it's also trying to fit people onto the show just to get them on the show.
Yeah, that's what I was saying to you. It's like an all-in payday. We're getting everyone a payday.
Right. The swirl does not deserve to be on All In.
No.
I don't need to see, these guys in this match. What did they do to deserve to be an All In? It's almost like, we would complain how WrestleMania would do all these multi-man matches just so they can fit everyone on the WrestleMania card, even though they haven't deserved to get on that card.
It's like putting Tozawa and Otis in a high-profile match.
Right.
Yes.
Just
At
because they're there.
WrestleMania. at
Yep.
WrestleMania. And that's why I just think that, we shouldn't be just throwing people in matches just so we could say we got as many people on the card because it's, Wembley and it's all in.
Especially when you already have Hangman and Swerve again, which to me has been done to death. But you have them again, so you've already got that built-in history. If you do have the New Day, it's so many hats on hats that something in the process is gonna get lost. Are we losing the prestige of Hangman and Swerve? Are we losing the prestige of the New Day's debut? Because it's just gonna be such a convoluted. It's overbooked. I mean, that's the only way to put it. If that's what they decide to do, it's going to be just way overbooked.
It should have been a simple three-way. It should have
Yeah.
been Hangman with Rodito. It should have been the Demand, and it should have been Swerve with whoever he brings in. We don't need, everyone running in now. Now the dogs are involved. Now freaking the conglomeration is involved. It's like we're literally just throwing people in just to throw people in. So
Yeah.
I think that to me that completely took it out. It completely lost everything when it comes to those trios, and it's just a complete waste of time for me.
And why do it work for the Bang Bang Gang? Why not throw the guns with
they're in there too. They mentioned them last night. They just didn't come out for some reason. But it's just
they were too busy being beneath the titles.
Because I think Jay White's going to be, because otherwise, where do you have Jay White on All In? Are you not going to have him in it? You know,
that'd be a mistake.
So it's like, and speaking of which, then we freaking had Moxley and him. Moxley won. First off, Jay White was not buried last night. I saw that.
No, he was not buried.
Got to be fair.
He lost, but he's not buried.
It was a 20-minute match. He lost. It wasn't a squash. He's not buried. He's not buried. He's got bad booking, but he's got bad booking, but he's not buried.
Right. We really got to learn what burying is.
Right.
Okay, we talked about it earlier. Brock buried Dragunov in that Royal Rumble spot.
I'm still fighting against that. I don't think he was buried with that, but
I think he did. I think he did damage to Dragunov's character.
He didn't do him any favors, but I wouldn't say he buried him. It's the Royal Rumble match. He was in. I don't think he got buried after that, but
yeah, maybe he didn't get buried, but he did throw some dirt on him.
But I thought the Willow stuff with Mercedes last night, it reminded me a lot of, remember Riddle with Seth?
Yeah.
When they did the backstage, when he said,
I like that too.
And then that brawl was, that pull apart brawl was good. I still think that's a foregone conclusion. The Bucks are a foregone conclusion. They kind of added to that. Like I said, they shoved everything on this show last night, that everything that's happening at All In was represented in some way. So, I thought that was a positive.
Yeah.
I wasn't a super fan of the sit down, the 12-minute sit down between, Ospreay and Omega. I was a bigger fan of what happened at the end, but I guess one led to the other, so it was okay. The Andrade stuff was good. The 12-second squash, which was fine. But I thought the show was pretty good.
I think they did. They did everything they need to do to prepare for the big show. So I think there was a lot on there that may not even have been needed. Like there was the 2 extra trio matches, and I get why they were doing them because you needed Ospreay, but why did you need Ospreay in a trios match and Kenny Omega in trios matches? Like, why do we need so many trios matches, to be honest?
Especially knowing that neither of them are going to lose said matches before All In.
Right. I mean, it's so they can showcase the other wrestlers, with Kenny Omega. And it's like AEW books differently. Than AEW books the match and puts the story around the match. WWE books the story and puts the match around the. I mean, it's just basically they're opposites.
But let's go down the card and do a little bit of predictions for All In. I got the card here. We'll start with the trios match. I think we talked about that pretty much just now, so I think we're all in agreement. It's going to be Swerve, especially if he's with the New Day.
I mean, who else could it possibly be with Swerve? Is Private Party still around? I mean, is there who's our other tag teams out there? Does FT? Oh, could it
Not
be
even tag
FTR?
teams. We all know how Tony likes to make sure that every group is race oriented. So name 2 other black guys that can join Swerve.
Keith Lee.
Well, what about the FTR? Are they on the card yet?
They're on a vacation.
They're
They're on
bad
vacation.
guys.
No, they're on vacation, but they're doing an indie show that weekend. They're doing an indie show.
Oh,
They're
okay.
booked.
Oh, they're not going to England?
No, they're booked. No, I believe I don't know where the indie show. I think they're booked in an indie show in England.
Oh, then yeah, they could, like I said, they could easily be Swerve's team because they're all just heel plus heel equals heel. But it'll probably be the New Day. But unless I can't think of any other tag teams.
Keith Lee.
Oh, that'd be so awesome.
What? How about this? The Acclaimed.
Yeah.
Reunite the Acclaimed.
Isn't Max on his way out?
I mean, who knows? You know, we thought Jungle Boy was on his way out.
That's true. Did we really though?
You know what I mean, though.
Yeah. I think that was. Is he gonna sign when he was gonna sign? Like there was
He got
never
a whole video package that he re-signed, so you know.
But who else we got? I mean, are the Machine Guns on the card yet?
No,
They're not heroes though.
They're not anything. They haven't been established as anything.
Is Nick Wayne in a tag team? Him and Swerve are buddies.
We're not putting Nick Wayne with Swerve. Let's now we're just naming people. Let's stop.
Yeah, I know.
Especially when Swerve tried. Last time we saw Swerve and Nick Wayne together, Swerve tried to murder Nick Wayne. I don't think they're going to be tag partners anytime soon.
Hey, they both tried to murder a lot of people since then.
Anyway, I think we see the title change. Swerve and the New Day most likely will win the trios titles.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So next we got Kyle Fletcher against Takeshita versus Okada. 3-way for the International Championship.
I'm going Takeshita wins his belt back.
Yep. I agree with that.
It kind of has to be Takeshita at this point, or he's the spare prick at the wedding, and thank you for fucking coming. Because at this point, that's another guy that AEW has done nothing to help.
I don't know why they took the belt off him. That was huge when he won it.
Because he went to do the G1, and they wanted the belt
okay.
So they wanted the belt on TV.
They've got 9 other belts. They could have waited a month.
I know. I'm just telling you why.
Yeah.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
Yeah, no, but literally Takeshita has to win this match. There's no reason Okada should even sniff a fucking.
Okada's got to turn on Fletcher though.
That lazy sack of shit needs to lie on his back 1, 2, 3. Okay, do something useful while you're getting paid millions of dollars from fucking Tony to do.
Oh, he's turning on. He's turning on Fletcher. That's for sure.
I mean, I think he's definitely. I think he is taking the pin though. I don't think they're going to pin Fletcher.
Oh, you don't think so? I think. Well, maybe after if Okada takes the pin, then he attacks Fletcher after the match. I don't think there's any scenario where Okada and Fletcher are buddies after that match.
But so we're all in agreement, Takeshita?
Oh yeah. How he gets there.
Sadly.
All right. Kevin Knight versus Darby in a Falls Count Anywhere match.
Kevin Knight.
That's still going on?
Title.
After the angle? I thought I was gonna say after the angle, it looks like they were teasing fucking Sting's kid.
Yo, El Hijo del Sting should not be in that title match. He should not have even been on TV last night. No one come at me about Zilla Fatu and nepotism and be okay with El Hijo del Sting. Fuck out.
Hold on, timeout. He's at least, first of all, he's already wrestled on a pay-per-view. So it's not like he's just being put on TV out of nowhere.
What pay-per-view did he wrestle on?
He was on Revolution, Sting's retirement match.
He didn't actually wrestle though. He just ran in.
He ran in and did a Stinger splash. That counts as fucking wrestling. I'm sorry.
That's a run in.
Do a fucking drop down.
That's a run in.
That was before he was even training. So
it doesn't matter. He's been featured on an AEW pay-per-view in the ring already. Why?
No. That's like
and no one bitched about. Hold on. And no one bitched about nepotism then. We shouldn't be bitching about it now.
But that was supposed to be a one-off.
Makes sense. That makes sense though, because it was Sting, and it was Sting's retirement match. But
it was it was supposed to be a one. Everyone thought it was a one-off.
No, it wasn't. Everybody was asking for both of his sons to start training and be signed to fucking immediately.
So you're going to tell me him being featured in the TNT title match is not nepotism because it's Sting's son?
No, I that point I do agree. I'm just saying you were making the point of him being on fucking TV is offensive, and I'm like, no, come on, he was on a fucking pay-per-view already.
Now, I'm talking about him being on TV, him on TV being pushed into the TNT title match picture. Whether he's part of it while he interferes, that's not a place he should be.
No, with you adding that context, I agree with you. But you saying flat out he shouldn't be on fucking television because he's Sting's kid, and that's nepotism. I call bullshit. He was already on the pay-per-view. That's nepotism.
Honestly, I'll tell you, my thing about the nepotism, pro wrestling is exactly where nepotism belongs because it's just continuations of stories for wrestlers that we like to see.
So not even that. Nepotism has always been a thing in the wrestling business throughout the history of time. Promotions, kids, wrestlers, kids.
Kurt Angle was a second gen. Kurt Angle was a second gen.
It's wrestling has always been a fraternity.
Kurt Hennig, sorry.
You know, I was going to say Kurt Angle was not.
Look at Hennig.
But yeah, no. Like I said, I didn't even know Darby was still going to be in the match after the Angle because that looks like they were writing him off TV. But
no, it's wrong. Darby. He'll be back. They'll drag
Darby
him.
Darby got pulled in a body bag across the desert. You know, he went off the ladder through plate glass. I mean, for that, you know, Jeff Hardy survived that. Darby will be fine.
I agree. But if we're basing the premise of the match being Darby and Kevin Knight, this is easily a Darby Allin win.
You think so?
Yes, Darby Allin, with the history he has with the TNT title, they're gonna stroke his ego, give him the belt to run again, and yeah.
I think you can't. I think you keep it on Knight because he needs it because he's not ready for the world title yet.
But if you go by Wrestling 101, and assuming Darby's not on TV next week to sell the injuries, Darby wins because Kevin Knight got the last laugh.
That's true.
So, and which is why I also think, you know, they got to do something heinous to Ospreay, because if Ospreay's standing tall, I might lean a little towards the fact that, you know, maybe Omega's retaining based on
but in terms of being heinous, the only thing he can really do again is go in Kenny's house, bang his wife, and tell the bitch to make him a sandwich.
Unless, you know what they could do? They could do the whole, you know, neck chair around the neck thing where he stomps on it type thing.
If they want,
would actually be an effective angle, though.
If they want Kenny to get booed, just have him pop on a red hat that says "Make America Great Again," and those sickos would lose their fucking minds.
Yeah, in England, the Canadian wearing a MAGA hat
would be absolutely hilarious too, because Fox News would pick that shit up and it would be ridiculous.
No, but yeah, I got Darby winning just because his history with the TNT title. Tony loves him, and Tony loves the fact that Darby does have that history with the TNT title. So, and as far as what the next move for Kevin Knight would be, I mean, he's in the Callis family. They'll find fucking something random for him to fucking do out of nowhere.
I mean, maybe he'll move on to go for the international against Takesha.
That's true.
Bring it back into the family.
That makes sense.
But
see, you know, but there is at least a direction for Kevin Knight after Darby beats him, and with Darby, he can. If you have Darby as the TNT champion. And in my eyes, the TNT title is the number 2 title in the company. He can use that to elevate some of these newer guys and currently stuck mid-card guys that are in the division that he needs to push up to the main event.
And then you could do the open challenges fairly and without an issue, not like what you did with the world title.
Exactly.
The TNT title is supposed to be able to do that. It's a TV title.
It's a TV title.
To be defended every week like that.
I think people forget that too. That like the secondary title, Intercontinental, US, since they don't have a TV title, they're TV titles because the title gets defended on TV. Like literally, they're named after the networks in AEW. Like they're TV titles because they're called the TNT and TBS title. Those are TV. We got to remember that.
Yeah.
So, what are your guys' picks? I was gonna say you guys haven't even said your pick yet.
Oh, I said I agree with you with Darby.
I'm gonna split and go Knight just because I don't think they should have him drop a belt yet.
You son of a bitch! You ruined the show. Now we're all supposed to fucking agree with each other. God damn it! You ruined the echo chamber.
All right, next match we got the Divine Dominion against the Brawling Birds. I think this is one of those obvious matches.
The
Is the
British
Brawling
chicks are
Birds?
winning in England.
Yeah.
The fact that we're now magically giving a fuck about Jamie Hayter 2 years after her big return
On the pre-show.
She was
on a
huge,
pre-show
man.
match.
When
On a
she
pre-show
left, she
match, the
was
same place she fucking
huge.
returned. So at least it's long-term storytelling. This is full circle, everybody. But
She was huge too before she got injured. She
literally,
was loving that woman division.
and honestly, the two things that fucked her up was A, the her and Britt Baker problems behind the scenes, and B, her injury.
Yeah, it sucks when injuries derail everything, man.
No,
She kept getting hurt.
if the her and Britt feud was still on the table for her return, if they weren't beefing and didn't have the backstage issues they had, she'd be fucking fine. Because she would have been the her and Britt feud would have been a perfect transition while they figure out whatever world title picture they were doing with Tony. Then after she finished with Britt, you could throw her right into Tony because Tony needed challengers at that point, and she was just beating people for the fuck of it. So Jamie would have at least been a good difference. Instead of when she finally did get a rematch, it was just a fucking throwaway match.
That's something AEW needs to make sure that doesn't happen. Is the I'm not going to work with is just that doesn't work in pro wrestling. Like you got to figure it out. Wrestlers have gotten past worse issues. I'm 100% sure they've worked through worse issues and put on great matches. Man, we never got to see CM Punk versus Kenny Omega, and I don't think we ever will.
We should have.
We should have. We should have seen CM Punk versus Kenny Omega. We should have got to see him against Smo Joe some more. We should have got to see him in Osprey. So many matches we should have got. Because we didn't say, shut the fuck up. I pay you guys all money. You're going to fucking work together. No one's going to take any liberties, and we're going to fucking put on great TV.
Yeah, well, that didn't happen.
No.
Right,
that's what happens when you have no nuts.
Yeah. The next one's a little hard to... It's the Continental Cup final. So we don't know what the finals are yet because we got 2 more matches on Collision this week. Moxley, I think, is in 1. I think Moxley is 1. Wait, I'm confused. Now I'm confusing myself. Excuse me.
I think there's Eddie Kingston left, Moxley. I forgot what the other match is. Nigel and someone else.
Nigel and Moxley won. So I guess those are the finals for the semifinals next week, and then we'll know after Dynamite. And then we got OC against Kyle O'Reilly on Collision, and then
that's what it is.
And then Claudio against the Plumber.
Oh my fucking god!
Wait, they're doing Claudio and Eddie again?
Hold on. Based on the bracket, who does OC face if he wins? I just have to ask this question.
I gotta look. I don't even know. Because
if he's not facing Moxley in the semifinals, it's gonna be OC and Moxley in the fucking finals. Get the fuck out of here! You think Tony Khan's not gonna put Orange Cassidy on fucking All In a Continental match?
That is his belt.
They already
is his belt, but the Continental.
But they teased him for the trios already. He was.
Oh, you're right. I got it. It is the international. Oh yeah.
He was in that brawl for the trios title.
Any chance we get Claudio and Moxley?
First, hold on. Time out. You're acting like there isn't 7 members of the conglomeration. Stop that now. We can easily replace Orange Cassidy with Mark Briscoe.
Yeah, I would go whoever was out there, though. If he was out there already, he probably should be in that match.
And it's not even that. They never had the match of Orange Cassidy versus Moxley when. So the initial thing was Moxley beat Cassidy for the belt. But remember, Moxley got hurt to Phoenix in that match and had to drop it to Phoenix. And then Phoenix dropped it back to Cassidy.
But I thought, didn't Cassidy wrestle him when he was the world champ?
World champ, yes. But I don't think he got his lick back.
I'm not sure.
Moxley's up 2-1.
I think it's going to be Claudio and Nigel.
I think it's going to be Nigel and Moxley, to be honest with you. I think he's fucking going to give Nigel the fucking hometown fucking
A third one?
shit.
A third?
Yeah.
Hometown?
Yeah.
That's a lot of hometown wins.
No, see, that's what I'm saying.
Not a win.
I think it.
Not a win, just an appearance to come out.
Oh yeah, okay. That he gets his ass beat and the crowd cheers him still.
Yeah,
No, yeah. See, I don't think so. I don't think Tony.
Oh, that might happen.
Especially with Moxley. Fuck no.
I think he's gonna get
see an Orange Cassidy Moxley match.
They don't have brackets, so I don't even know what where they're gonna go, how it's gonna break down. They're basically just doing whatever they want because everything's been blind. Except for the finals coming up. So I don't know how they're determining that.
They might not know yet.
But
my prediction then, I'll go 2. I'm Moxley, Nigel, Moxley wins, or Moxley, Claudio, and hopefully Claudio wins, but I don't know.
Listen, if I'm having my dream match, it's Orange Cassidy, Nigel McGuinness, and Moxley loses this round because I don't want to see a fucking Moxley match at all in. But we all know Tony has some fucking fixation on this stone.
Unless you can figure out another way to book him on that show, there's no way Moxley's not on that show.
Yeah. No, you're right. So sadly, it's going to be Moxley and someone, and Moxley probably going to fucking win because fucking Moxley.
That's why it's got to be him and Claudio. If it's him and Claudio, the mega powers explode. Or
I'm still.
You know what? Fuck that. I'm with him. I'm with Cal on that one because at least with that situation, at some point the fucking Death Riders are done by the end of the night, and Deejay will be fucking happy. There we go.
It's not the match you want. You just want the Death Riders.
I just want the Death Riders to fucking die. I want Moxley to fall down a fucking step and break his ankle and never.
No, don't wish that on the guy. That's Renee's husband.
I'm still gonna go with Moxley and Nigel being in the finals with Moxley retaining the Continental.
Right, and then they do the thing where Nigel's in the ring and retires. And the crowd still cheers him.
I just want someone
to
come out the crowd and kick him as hard as they can in the dick.
Don't say that about Renee's husband.
Like, I really hate this motherfucker. I really do. I never thought I could hate a wrestler or a human being as much as I hate Jon Moxley. He's just fucking terrible. I hate him more than I hate Nia Jax, and that fucking takes the fridge, literally.
The fridge.
Like, I don't fucking he's just bad at everything he does. He talks incoherently. His matches are literally the fucking same. He has some uncanny need to fucking bleed. And
I don't disagree with all that, but I give Moxley a pass strictly because of the video of him walking by with the 2 guys smoking the joint and he hits it.
Oh, wow. He gets high, too. That's probably why he makes the decision.
I thought that was cool as hell.
Like, I'm sorry. And then his whole gimmick is he's portrayed as some badass when there's video of him out here getting tapped by the Jiffy Lube attendant.
They did say when Mark Henry was going to do the strongman competitions, Vince said, we have no need for the second strongest man, so don't lose. Vince basically said, if you lose, that's it. We don't need a loser.
Like I said, no, but I'm saying the point is like his gimmick don't work. He can't cut a promo. He can't wrestle. His matches are the only matches he can wrestle are matches that don't involve any talent, use, or storytelling whatsoever.
You think they're gonna
matches where he no sells and does shit?
Do you think they're gonna reheat the Moxley Foley match? Not match. They don't. No, please, no match. But the Moxley Foley thing that they kind of teased a long time ago, back in maybe it was FCW.
Someone throws him off the fucking cell and he becomes paralyzed for the rest of his life.
No. Let's do that. Years ago, they were doing WWE was doing a thing when Moxley was in FCW, where basically he was going up to Mick Foley. It was like an online thing way back in the day before they had any infrastructure for that. But basically, Moxley was in like random places, was running into Mick Foley. And the thing was, he was telling Mick Foley that he ruined his life because he created a wrestling style that was so impossible to live up to that basically Jon Moxley's destroyed his life trying to get there. But it ended up falling apart and they never ended up doing it. Something like, I think Foley and Moxley got into a disagreement. It's probably online. You could look it up. I might be paraphrasing a lot of it. But Yeah, it was this really cool angle that they were doing, but it never came to fruition. I don't know if they'll try it again. It's kind of been 10 years.
And if Foley's broken, we don't need that.
No, I don't want to be like sometimes in matches, like I don't want anyone to get hurt. Like really, I don't want to see anyone get hurt. It's my greatest fear watching wrestling. So watching things that are just so close, like ladder matches where the leg is broken and they're still climbing up the ladder. That shit, I'm too old, man. That shit makes me cringe.
Okay, so in all seriousness, I don't want anyone to get hurt. Seriously.
Right.
I'm speaking in hyperbole and me being
Right. Yeah.
But
No, I figured.
I hope he pulls a hammy or maybe tears an ACL to where he doesn't.
Let's say we'll say his passport gets revoked and he doesn't get to.
You know what I mean? Just stop wrestling. My point is stop fucking wrestling.
I'll give you a solution where he doesn't get hurt.
Like fuck.
He gets detained by the British Royal Guard.
But goddamn, but yeah. Besides me going on my Moxley tangent and how much I hate him and his fucking stupid groups of fake badasses who apparently, by the transitive property, can get all of their ass kicked by the entire women's division. Fuck all these guys.
Claudio is badass though.
But by the transitive property,
yeah.
Whip the shit out of all of them, and Marina can't win a women's match to save her fucking life. That means all the women are way better than the Death Riders and can kick the shit out of all of them.
That is a kind of a pretty big hole in the logic.
By the transitive property, right? I'm just speaking.
Right. If you're power scaling, if Superman can beat the Green Lantern, then basically the transitive property. If person A can beat person B, and person B beats person C, then person A can beat person C.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Anyway, let's move on.
Right.
Next, we got the men's casino gauntlet match. So far, we only know it's Andrade, MJF, and Ciampa. 1, 2,
I'm predicting my now Ilya Dragunov. Fuck you,
Ilya
guys.
Dragunov.
Yeah, I think I think he'll be in the match, but MJF's winning it.
Yeah, you think I mean, I'm not going to hate it because he's my favorite part of the show.
I don't know. I think MJF's the giant MacGuffin. I think he's the thing we're supposed to look at and think it's the obvious thing, and Tony's going to pick the non-obvious thing to win.
The bait and switch.
Pretty much. Because
I could see that. I could see that.
Because it's too obvious for MJF to win this, and this isn't going to settle the him and Andrade thing. And I think that's going to actually kind of be MJF's plan for All Out, is the him and Andrade match. So
who else we got in there then?
We don't know. It's at random. So it could be.
Oh yeah.
So who knows who's gonna show?
I don't know any like big debuts or return or maybe returns. Maybe Samoa
Buddy
Joe.
Joe. Buddy Murphy.
I could see Samoa Joe coming back.
I'd love to see Joe come back.
You know what I mean? Or Buddy Murphy would be a good one because it's something new. He's been gone for so long, and in that crowd, it would work because it's holy shit. Buddy Murphy just won and is getting a world title shot.
Is there any other free agents? Because they won't shy away from debuting two new dudes in the same match. Adam Cole and Daniel Bryan showed up 10 minutes after each other.
Adam Cole returns and wins it?
Oh, I'd be so happy. I love Adam Cole. Give me that.
I know it's unlikely. I'm just throwing it out there as what if.
Jay, just say Keith Lee and you're really man. Give me Adam Cole.
There's as much of a chance of Danielson being in the match as there is Adam Cole.
Yeah, I know.
No, I think there's more of a match for Cole than Danielson. Cole's only issue is a history of concussions, which again over time can get better and can be fixable maybe. We don't know.
That's what took Daniel out. Danielson was out for all those years too.
But I'm saying Danielson's out now due to neck problems, which means your bump card is.
Yeah, I know people still want to see him go, and I'd love to see another Daniel Bryan match, but I don't want to watch the whole match worrying that he's going to get hurt.
That's what I'm saying. Bryan's at the point where if he takes the wrong bump, he's done. Not only done in wrestling, he's done in life.
Yeah, I don't want to worry about that.
And life's already hard enough as it is for him.
I'll just rewatch his old matches.
I was gonna say with Adam Cole, it's more of a history of concussions, as far as I know, and it's not like neck damage, back damage, or anything like that. It's just he's taken severe blows to the head and is taking little to no time off in between said set blows to the head, and it's
Yeah.
got concurrently. So I think time off is the best thing for him. He again, there has been no formal retirement of him yet. They just said he's gone for the foreseeable future.
Right.
So I'm always going to sit here and throw the Adam Cole what if.
Yeah, because it's basically once he can clear prolonged concussion protocol, make sure his noggin still works.
If they have a concussion protocol.
I hope. I imagine they have something. I think the optics would be too bad with him being a part owner of an NFL football team.
I think a lot of AEW's like medical what's the word I'm looking for? Requirements are definitely way more lax than WWE is required, or you wouldn't be letting people like Adam Copeland, Page, or Danielson come in and taking a lot of the bumps them motherfuckers are taking. You know what I mean? Edge was dumb enough. A guy with severe neck problems was like, I'm going to take a bump off of top of a fucking cage. And guess what happened to him? His old ass, his leg snapped in fucking half.
Yeah, that was a bad.
Okay. At least his neck was okay.
Yeah, I mean,
no, but I'm saying in WWE he wouldn't even have been allowed to even go.
No, well, no. One of the producers would have been like, "You're out of your mind.
You're out of your fucking mind. What are you doing?" That's what I'm saying. Or they would have told Danielson, "You're not allowed to have the same type of match you would have in Japan 10 years ago."
Right.
Well, that's what he always said. He always said Vince was protecting him, and that's why he didn't let him go all out. So and then
but I'm saying in AEW, Tony doesn't try to protect people from their worst selves. He thinks they know themselves better than he does.
I think it's not a thing. I don't think it's anything malicious or sinister. I think he just
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
If they tell him they're good, if they tell him they're good, they're good. He's like, all right, they know their bodies.
Exactly, and you know what I mean. And this is how we're getting guys like Kenny and Swerve having to take time off, getting these major Osprey. These guys are having to get major fucking surgeries because they're going out there working when they obviously shouldn't and should just rest for a bit. But
they work such a hard style too.
And you know what I mean? And they're telling Tony he's okay because they don't want to lose their spot.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically just like old school wrestling.
So like, you know what I mean? So we got to think about it from that terms. So I can, again, Adam Cole coming back to me in AEW at least is always a possibility. And I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, and it's something I would very much like to see.
But back to the main point of...
It would get the biggest pop of the night.
I think so.
Who else? I'm trying to think who else could make a return that hasn't been.
You said Buddy. That's one. You said Buddy already. Joe.
I think that's it. Just those two. And there's
Keith Lee,
unless they're debuting each member of the New Day in the fucking gauntlet match to try to do something else other than the trios. There's really nobody else out there.
So who do you got winning? Let's get it. Cal, who do you got?
I don't know, honestly. I'm trying to just think of a name. I'm just gonna think of a name. I'll go with Samoa Joe just for shits and giggles. Because again, I don't think it's gonna be MJF and Andrade. I think MJF's definitely a bait and switch because it's too for most of this card. A lot of these winners are too obvious, at least seem too obvious, and MJF seems way too obvious in terms of the real world champion gimmick. So we'll try to get him back in a second.
Yeah. I still think it's going to be MJF because I think it's going to end up being MJF versus Ospreay all out. So that's why I'm going with MJF. Oh, there.
I'm back.
There we go.
My phone dumped me. My phone said it's 10 o'clock. You're supposed to be done on social media.
So who do you got for this? I went with MJF. DJ went with Samoa Joe.
I'll go. If Joe comes back, I can see Joe winning it. Let's heat him up as soon as he gets back. Give him one of the 20 titles.
All right. We got 3 more to go. We got Christian and Copeland against the Young Bucks. I think this is pretty much, the Young Bucks to win. I think this is the end of the run for Christian and Copeland because I think Copeland wants to do more singles before he hangs it up. So
Yeah, are they adding a third team to that match?
I don't think not at this point.
Didn't they? Wasn't there another team on Dynamite?
No,
There wasn't interference from another team. Didn't or he super kicked
he super kicked Adam Copeland.
Christian. Okay,
Or
he super
he
kicked.
super kicked Christian.
Okay,
So that's why they were just adding to it. I don't think they're not at
okay.
the go home show. They've been building up, this dream match, if you will. So
And what if that? See, that's what if that if they pull a Hardy's WrestleMania where they turn the Cope and Christian against the Bucks, and then the New Day. See that's what I would like, but I don't know if they'll do that.
No, the Bucks are winning. It's
yeah.
clearly going to be the Bucks. This is just for the dream match, and then the Bucks are getting the belt so they can defend them against the Machine Guns, and again have their 5-match series.
But it'd be awesome if that's when the New Day debuted.
It would be, but unfortunately they're gonna be in that trios vortex.
I know.
Willow against Mercedes. Again, I think this is pretty obvious, at least for me, that it's Mercedes.
I'm like 97% positive it's Mercedes. She's not
I am.
losing
I'm
she's
right
not
there
losing
too.
back-to-back world title matches in All
But
Out.
Right.
if there was one to shock me, it would be that. It would. That's the one I think it'll be.
I
I mean,
can agree with that.
yeah, but they've basically been telling the story that Willow's been her kryptonite,
Right.
and like every bad, even though she's a heel, that every bad thing that's happened has come from Willow, and all that. So I really think this is where Mercedes is going to win,
Yeah.
even though she
I think
technically
so.
has beaten Willow before. But yeah,
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
and then
in terms of Mercedes, I think she's winning easily. This is kind of her big moment, especially after her first time in Wembley when they had the big show. She was in the crowd. I think second time she was with Tony. This is the third time. She hasn't won anything, so.
plus this is her first time wrestling in Wembley.
No, I thought. Oh yeah, no. Last year it was Texas with
Texas,
Tony. Yeah,
yep.
never mind. She missed the second Wembley. That's what it was.
Right.
That's what she got hurt.
How about this? What if Mercedes wins and then we get the return of Tony Storm?
That could be that could definitely
That'd
happen.
be great. Let's have the rematch at All Out.
Where the hell's Tekla been?
She's that was my question last
Tony,
night.
no, Tony Khan. I got an answer for y'all. Tony Khan just hates DJ, and whenever DJ says something is good on AEW television, he has to immediately A, fuck it up, or B, take it away from me.
We sure Tekla's not in rehab?
Yes, for sure. But
someone said she was doing the. Someone said she was doing the Scott Hall gimmick.
You know what? The funny part is it wasn't even her. The entire fucking Triangle of Madness has disappeared off TV in the last month.
They might be making a comeback then. They might attack the Brawling Brutes after they win. Or the Brawling Birds. They're not brutes,
yeah,
they're birds.
Like I said, I think Mercedes, I can't see it being anyone else. I could see them, depending what mysterious issue with Tony Storm has been, I could see them having Tony return.
Oh yeah.
That could
Crowd
be
go nuts.
But and then of course we got the main event, Kenny Omega against Will Ospreay. I'm going with Ospreay. I don't think they're doing all this for him to lose in London.
Yeah, I like I said, I can see Omega winning only just because. Well, let me say, I want Omega to win, but I don't see him not sending the crowd home happy with Ospreay not winning.
DJ?
Because it is their WrestleMania. He's muted.
You might be dealing with Aaron. But yeah, like as far as the Ospreay stuff, I can't believe we built all this up. We told the story of Ospreay coming back from the neck injury, going through the O and doing all this. He did the shit with the Death Riders, everything, and then to just not win.
Right, and like we said earlier, like this is their WrestleMania. It's not a you don't end it on a heel win. you don't Empire Strikes Back that one.
Yeah, and that's just something that, especially since you want to try to one up last year with Hangman.
Right.
So, yeah, I just don't, I just can't see it. So, yeah, I'm definitely going with Osprey.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think Omega's gonna take some time after this.
And they'll have after Osprey wins, Windsor will come out. She'll have her belt she won earlier in the night.
It'll be the Benoit and Guerrero thing from WrestleMania 20.
Yep.
So, and that's all. We got 9 matches right now for All In.
Oh, I'm buying the show. I'm buying it. That's for sure.
I hope they don't add more. I think that's more than enough.
It's a lot. That's a lot. That's a day. That's my entire.
Right. That's less. That's less than they usually have for these pay-per-views.
Oh, then we're getting two more.
Plus, they'll probably have 2 on the pre-show. So I think that's more than enough.
Yo, they're getting a second one back on the pre-show. Oh yeah.
Yeah. DJ main event.
Is it All In on a Saturday?
No, it's on Sunday. One second.
It's on Sunday. My bad. Aaron distracted me for a second.
Yeah, we figured. Up. Who do you got for the main event?
So I think Osprey again is kind of the obvious one. I would prefer Kenny to win, but I wish the story was that neither of them were the clear babyface or heel. These were just 2 guys wrestling. Then, in order for Osprey to show that quote unquote killer instinct, he would have to turn heel on Kenny. He turns heel. The Death Riders come out and embrace him, turn on Moxley, and Osprey be the new head of the Death Riders. That's my perfect world, but apparently I can't get that. We got to get whatever the fuck we're getting. So it's going to be Osprey.
Yeah, I think they're going with Feel Good Moment. I think they would get if they tried to turn Osprey heel, it would go over like Stone Cold at WrestleMania 15. At least at Wembley.
17.
Yeah, 15 was the first time.
Yeah. But yeah, that's All In. And like I said, there's only 9 matches on the main card. I really hope they don't add any more. I think that's more than enough. I think it starts early. It starts, I think, at 1.
Oh, okay, so that's better. I can't stay up till 1 a.m. on a Sunday night.
No, well, don't forget it's in England, so there's.
Oh, okay. Difference. Then actually, yeah, that'll be a good Sunday. Get me ready for a good practice for when football comes back.
There's a lot on that Sunday because you also have the AAA show, and then you have NXT Heatwave, which is up against.
Oh, damn!
So there's actually a lot of wrestling on that Sunday.
I'm gonna have to screen it.
Yeah,
that's awesome. And then the next Sunday, football will be back.
Yeah. You know what the funny thing is? That AAA show, they haven't announced a single match.
I wonder why.
And it's a week from Sunday.
That's dumb.
But yep, it's gonna, unless we got any other business, I think that's gonna wrap up the show.
Yeah, no, I ain't got nothing else. Yep. Fuck Dustin Rhodes, sorry.
Cal, thank you for joining us.
Oh yeah, man, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
And we will be back. Next week, we won't have a regular show. We're actually going to be live for the post show of All In. So next Sunday, we will actually be live. We will not be dropping a pre-recorded episode. So I know so far we got Zeus joining us. I'm sure we're going to have other guests. And we're going to have a live reaction to, AEW's biggest show of the year. So until then, we'll see you then.
All right. You have a good rest of your day.